all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Well, it's going. I'm trying to get everything working here on my new computer. Woohoo! Excited to have a new computer. Frustrated trying to get everything working again.
Well, it's
So,
always tough. It's always tough when you get a new computer.
yeah, especially with a fiddly like the audio and video and getting OBS, everything set back up with everything the way it's supposed to be. It's like, oh, geez, yeah. I'm glad to have a new machine. Really frustrated trying to get everything back working exactly the way you want it. Right?
Yeah, it never works the way you imagine it would work, but you sound good to my
No,
ears,
yeah,
and
yeah. I appreciate it.
hopefully
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
I think I got all the audio stuff sorted out earlier today. Still just kind of issues with OBS and whatnot, getting that working. But at least I finally got the virtual camera working. So
Well, that's
that was
good.
that was going to be a bad news if I couldn't get that up and working today. So glad we got
Well,
that figured out.
it's been actually there's a lot to talk about today.
Oh gosh, there's been so many things going on today. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get to everything. Let's start off just because it's on our first topic. I want to talk about a movie that I saw called Obsession. Did you hear anything about this movie?
I've seen a thing or two about it. It wasn't something that really caught my attention, really interested me all that much. But yeah, what is it all about, Price?
Well, let's first of all look.
Go take a
This is
look at
one of
some of
those
the.
cases where I guess the if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, the critics and the audience gave it like, the best scores. Now, I there's a lot of people that I respect and I know that they really enjoyed this movie. I'm in some DM groups where people are just raving about it. So I really wanted to see what the whole fuss was about. Not from mainstream media and stuff like that, but just people that I like and I respect their opinion. So I wanted to know if this movie really is the real deal. And I guess first of all, I have to say I went to see a screening today, and the place was full. I mean, full. I don't. It
Yeah,
wasn't
nice.
their biggest theater in the whole multiplex, but whatever theater they put it in, that place was full. I'm saying that I don't think there was one seat open in the theater. So there's a word of mouth thing going on here,
Nice. Yeah.
and for that alone, that they like, that this is a much smaller production, and that they're doing that, I'm already really impressed. The other thing I'll say is that this whole movie, if I understand correctly, cost less than $1 million to produce. Some people are saying 750,000. Somewhere between that and 1 million. That's the budget of the movie. And you know what? I always appreciate when somebody has an idea and makes a movie work even with less than $1 million budget. And it's not that I sit and watch this movie and I thought to myself, oh, this movie looks like it was made for $2. I was legitimately sitting and intrigued by the movie. Now, is this movie for me 95 or 94%? I wouldn't say that. I think that there's people I know that were a bit more excited about it than I was, but I sat there and I didn't dislike it. I mean, I thought to myself, "This is interesting. It's at least kind of compelling and intriguing and interesting." It's not like I sat there and suffered watching it. I also think it's a movie that doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it was like an hour and 40 something minutes, perfect time. And without spoiling anything, I'll just say that the movie kind of reminded me in some odd way of like the monkey's paw. You know the monkey's paw story?
Oh, sure. Yes.
That you have wishes, but at the end you wish and you think that all this good stuff is going to happen, and the wishes aren't exactly what you wanted. You think you're getting what you wanted, you make a wish, but there's always some fine print, and
Mm-hmm.
things aren't always as they crack up
There's,
to be. So
there's
in
always a catch. Yes.
always a catch.
Yeah.
So in this movie, and I can say this because it happens within like the first 2 minutes, so I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. The idea here is there's a guy. He has this girl that he kind of has liked for years or whatever it is, and really kind of into her. And he does something that he thinks is like bogus, where he does a wish, that she'll absolutely like him. And since this isn't one of those like Disney movies, this is more of a spooky kind of a a bit of a horror movie, but I'll get to that in a second. It's supernatural slash mild horror, and I'll get to the mild horror in a bit. Uh, in any case, he does the wish, and as you may imagine, sometimes when you make those kind of wishes, it's one of those careful what you wish for situations.
Yes.
And things become kind of very spooky and we've seen this. I'm looking at it at like Monkey's Paw to a lesser extent, but even if you look at something like Pet Cemetery, you want your loved one to come back, you put them in the thing, but then they don't come back the same way. I think that there's something here that, willing somebody else to do something even though that wasn't the natural thing of events, could cause problems, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
So I think that that's the kind of idea of the movie, and I'm not spoiling anything beyond that. And even that's not a spoiler. I literally, you watch it in the first like 5 minutes, it covers the situation I'm saying. I don't think that that's a spoiler at all. I didn't see any trailers for the movie. I'm sure that if I saw the trailers, it would probably tell me more than I just gave. So I'm not like I don't feel like I've done anything wrong here, and I'm not going to say how it turns out or anything like that. Like there's a lot of things going on, but what I will say is this: it's a competently made movie. I felt like, sometimes I've seen indie movies or ones that are cheaper, and what they usually do is they have that thing, and I always hate it. Uh, the man walking around thinking about his feelings in the forest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they have those kind of movies that that they didn't have a huge budget, so it's like there's long scenes of some person walking and reflecting and like looking at the flowers and looking at the trees and the hummingbirds, and he's sitting in the field and thinking about his feelings. That doesn't happen in this movie. Every scene is here because there's something that's happening in the scene, and I feel like, it didn't just feel like, oh, there's a bunch of like nonsense filler here. I felt that every scene that was crafted here was well thought out, and like I said, managed to keep things interesting on a very tight budget. Uh, so many studios from Hollywood could learn from whoever made this movie how they can make movies for that kind of money. When you see somebody like this, I think his name is like Curry Baker. I don't even know anything about the guy, quite honestly, but when you see a guy like that and he does that for less than a million, maybe $750,000, makes a movie. It's already made, tens of millions of dollars. Like I said, word of mouth is actually strong. Theater full today. I feel like it's actually improving at the box office somehow. If you got what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that kind of effort.
Very
And
nice.
Gavin Unit said better than Shelby Oaks. Oh, way better than Shelby Oaks. Shelby Oaks, I didn't talk about it a lot. I know that that guy is kind of annoying, that Chris Stuckman guy. I'm certainly not his fan, but I don't know. I mean, it still takes something to try to put a movie together. And even though people say this other filmmaker helped him and people got him a few extra dollars, Chris Stuckman's movie didn't cost like $5 gazillion to make. At the end, maybe he initially made it for 1 million. Maybe somebody threw in some extra money to help him finish it, but it's not like he walked away with like a $20 million production here. With that being said, I didn't love the movie. I mean, he probably had more money to work with than this Curry Baker guy. Curry Baker, whoever, I think his name is Curry Baker,
Mhm.
eats this guy for breakfast. Eats what's his name, Stuckman, for breakfast. But at the same time, I still can't. Curry Barker, sorry, not Curry Baker. At the same time, I can't hate on a guy for wanting to do something, for trying. Sometimes, sometimes making an effort, kind of taking a leap or doing something, it's still commendable. And for whatever it's worth, there were a few scenes in Shelby Oaks, maybe not the most original scenes. There were a few ideas that I saw there that I thought were like kernels for a movie that could have been way better. But I don't know. I didn't. I'm not going to say I liked it. I was kind of annoyed by Shelby Oaks, but I don't know. I didn't feel good about going out and just saying like how, like, it's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever when somebody puts 10, 20 million even in a movie like that. You can like really tear it up. You could tell that there was a budget problem with Shelby Oaks, in my opinion at least. It's not the entire problem. The other problem is that it's just very bland. It doesn't really say anything or do anything. Uh, this movie is the opposite of that. This obsession movie knows what it wants to do. It feels like there's a steady hand directing it, steady hand writing it. I'm curious who wrote it. Did this same Barker guy write it? Yep, he wrote it. Uh, I have nothing, I mean, I have to say it's pretty good stuff. He directed it, he wrote it. Can't really complain here in that sense. And I guess, the problem for me is that I wouldn't say it's a 95 for me. I know some people really like it. Maybe if I took into consideration the amount of money they spent on it, maybe it would get a higher score. I I sometimes give movies, extra credit if they don't have a budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Hmm.
can't look at this movie and let's say Captain Falcon Brave New World in the same way because Captain Falcon had like 300, $400 million to work with, whereas I think that the bill that they paid for like a few days of catering probably covered this entire production.
Most likely, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even say the whole catering for the whole movie of Captain Falcon, because I think that the catering for that movie was probably significantly higher than the budget of this movie. This is like a partial catering bill for Disney while they make a movie, and in that sense, I can't treat them the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to look and think to myself, "Wow, these guys." If you look at Disney and Captain Falcon, they had all the money in the world, or Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. They had all the money in the world. They could get all the best actors and resources. They could do anything in the world. And at the end you walk in and it's a piece of shit. And there's no excuse for it. Like, people should feel shame if they have hundreds of millions of dollars to work on a movie and it's a complete and utter disaster that looks like it was written by a 3-year-old, incompetently made, shot and edited. These are things that like I can't let slide. On the other hand, a guy that has 750,000 writes a screenplay, directs a movie, and I wasn't sitting there thinking, "Oh, this guy didn't have any money." Didn't think that at all. You know what? Have to give him some points there. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
if I'm not going to encourage that, I don't know what I'm going to encourage because I think that that's what's missing from Hollywood. I felt that way also when I saw that Normal movie. It wasn't a high budget movie, but it was fun, and it was like, a little movie. Uh, Same way I felt with that Tuner movie. Tuner also was not a big budget movie. It's interesting that recently I've had a few cases where I watched low budget movies, had a much better time watching them than most of the big Hollywood stuff.
Well, there's not a whole lot of big Hollywood stuff to, well, I mean, to really enjoy. No, I mean, there's certainly still a lot of big Hollywood stuff still coming out, but I don't know how much of it is actually worth our time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's something worth our time either, but it is interesting. So, yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, I appreciate the people giving it like these great scores, and if they're looking at it as a very small indie movie and how much they appreciate the work that was done here, I can even understand the enthusiasm. Even with all of that, I probably still wouldn't give it these scores, but it wouldn't get a 0 for me. It would get a decent score for me. I would just have to think about more what I would give it, and maybe I'll do a review. I want to say that I didn't know these actors at all. Have never seen them anywhere. I don't know if they've ever been in a movie. They're certainly not like these kind of quote unquote A-listers. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
But they got the job done. Like, I watched the movie, I didn't think, oh, these measly actors. I will say that the woman that plays like the lady and there's a guy and a girl that are sort of the main characters. I think that the one that plays the girl, I was rather impressed with her. I thought that it was not necessarily an easy role to do, and I thought she delivered a pretty good performance. Wasn't familiar with her, don't know anything about her, but I thought she was pretty good. The guy I thought was decent. I think that I was more impressed with her than with him, but I don't think he did a bad job either. And even a few like supporting characters, it all felt fine. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't. Sometimes you have these kind of movies that you can tell that they didn't have like the A-listers and maybe they brought kind of workarounds and whatever, and you're like, well, the acting isn't so good. I didn't feel that here. I feel like people that were involved in making this movie took it very seriously and really wanted to create something that works, and have to give them credit. So, all in all, I think that this is not bad. The real headcase says, "Are you biased because you got a free screening price?" No, actually, I paid for it. Like, I mean, I didn't pay for it because I have this kind of pass where you could watch it, but this is already in the theater. I didn't see an early screening of it. I didn't do anything. I went to the theater and watched it, and there was no early screening or anything here. I just went and watched the movie, and no, I'm not biased at all. Even if I was early to see the movie, I wouldn't have said that it was good or bad. The Tuner movie, I saw an early screening, but I did enjoy it. I mean, if I've seen stuff that I've seen in early screening that I was not afraid to say that I didn't like the movie. Uh, there have been some stinkers that I've seen in those kind of early screenings, but this wasn't the case
Mhm.
with Tuner. And today, again, it wasn't an early screening. I liked what I saw with the Obsession movie. It's like sort of supposed to be a horror movie, but it's not like a slasher thing that every second 70 people like start slashing each other. It's not that kind of movie. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
It's actually more limited in its kind of like it's not it's like if you want to call it like horror elements are more limited. I think that this is more a bit of a supernatural thing and psychological thing. So I would even argue that this movie sort of is a hybrid between a few different things. Has some moments of humor in it too, although I mean, not completely laugh out loud humor. Maybe there was like one moment where like I think that I let out a genuine chuckle. But there were times that I was kind of smiling and it was quirky. And I think that at the end there's something about being maybe if you've ever been in a problematic relationship or something like that, there's something to look at this movie and kind of it's winking at you in that sense. And like I said, there's some symbols even beyond what you're looking on the screen, and well thought out, uh, decent time at the movies. Didn't dislike the movie. Oh, the professor was so excited that he left, but now he's back.
No, sorry. Not sure
It,
what that was.
it's okay. Obsession feels like a throwback to 1980s 90s thriller horror movies, which relies on a magical device to set the plot going forward. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. Uh, uh, okay, well, I'll keep watching your channel, but you have a mod taking down my comments. Uh, I do. I think the mod is Istophobos. Professor.
I haven't been touching anything.
Um,
I don't even see any comments deleted.
I didn't
It's
take
possible. Headcase. It's possible. There's something happening with YouTube. Sometimes they will block comments.
that. That can happen. I
Uh,
didn't block anything,
but yeah,
and
I don't see anything deleted here, buddy.
yeah, I we didn't do it. So
Yeah,
if there's
and I
something,
don't.
I don't think that we're the ones that did it.
I don't even see us to here tonight.
In any case,
Yep.
Iron Lung. I'll tell you what, I like this better than the Iron Lung. I don't know how much the budget was for Iron Lung. Do you happen to know what did Iron Lung cost?
Oh gosh, I
Iron
don't
Lung
remember.
budget. So Iron Lung cost $3 million, and this movie cost 750,000. This one is the clear winner. I like this better than Iron Lung. Iron Lung, there was something I appreciated about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I appreciate, first of all, I always appreciate when somebody doesn't have a lot of money and is like, I'm making this movie. In our day and age, it's refreshing. And I think that there was a lot to like in that Iron Lung movie. But I will say this, Iron Lung felt to me like something that it would have been an excellent, maybe 30-minute shorter film. And it sort of stretches out to maybe an hour and 30 minutes or however long it is. And it feels a bit long. It feels like, there's moments in Iron Lung that I could have seen a shorter movie there. Not that I didn't like the idea, not that I didn't like the ambition. I just feel like it could have been executed in a way that was more concise, and probably it would have benefited. Shelby Oaks, as opposed to Iron Lung, both Iron Lung and let's say this movie, this Obsession movie, at least there was somebody with like a thought of what he wanted to make, a creative direction, a vision, and you could tell that somebody went and did that. In both cases, that what is his name, whatever that other guy's name, Fishbach. I don't know what his name is. In any
Mhm.
case, the Iron Lung guy, I think that there was a steady hand doing exactly what he wanted to do, but I wouldn't say that it was completely flawless, and it required a lot more patience and work on the viewer's end, and a lot of, like, to really go along with it. Whereas in this movie, I thought it was a more breezy production, and considering the amount of money they had here, I can't help but be rather impressed.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even if you're, let's say, not a like not a horror fan or whatever it is,
Yeah.
even you, I'm saying, Professor, I think that this isn't the typical one. I think that there's something a bit here to enjoy for people that like different genres. But it is definitely kind of out there. It's not I don't know. So it is what it is. And like I said, out of the movies that are happening now, this is probably one of the better things. Probably one of the more decent movies that came out this year. I want to look at for a second at the numbers at the website, the
Yeah.
slowest website on the face of the earth.
It is incredibly slow. It's quite
Their
frustrating.
servers, they're using like dial-up modems or something to
I
transfer the data.
I don't know. They're certainly not using all those data centers everyone's building everywhere, I'll tell you
No,
that much.
like I know a lot of people are buying like SanDisk SSDs. They don't have any. I don't think they have a server. So look today, Monday, or for yesterday, Obsession is number one. Do you see that?
Yeah.
It's basically like, I think it's a word of mouth situation. People are like, "This is kind of cool." I
Yeah.
was very surprised that the theater was full. It's almost like they probably needed to put this in a bigger theater.
Yeah, I mean, if it's doing well, yeah. If you've got demand for it, I'm certain it's gonna have a lot more demand than some other movies, coming up in the next few days.
So another thing that you see, first of all, let's see. So Obsession, it cost $750,000 to make. Already made $27 million. This is already a win, a huge win right out the gate. See, it says worldwide box office is 27.8 times the production budget.
Oh god, yeah, that's very impressive. I
That is a
mean,
huge win, and it's not gonna end here. I think that this is gonna be watched by a lot more people. By the end of it, this is one of those things that people are gonna look back when they make those lists of, like, cost-effective movies. This is surely gonna be in there. This is a very, very cost-effective movie, and I think that part of the reason why it even did won the day yesterday, I think there's good word of mouth here. Which is very rare. We haven't had that in a long time, that a movie just comes out and people are like, "Hey, have you seen that movie? You should go see it." And let alone one that costs like $5 to make. In
sure.
addition, you have Michael, who's already like 709 million, the worldwide box office. The critics tried to do every single thing, all the mainstream media, to destroy this movie, and it absolutely got them nowhere. And I think that another good thing that I like here is that I feel like the things that are working out are not necessarily the kind of narratives that the Hollywood mainstream media, press, or whatever, these trades, they don't like this stuff. They didn't want Michael to succeed, but it succeeded. They I don't think that they love that there's a guy that's like not really a Hollywood guy doing 750,000 and doing this well. Maybe they'll report on it, but don't think that they love it. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, they're not gonna be happy.
Needless to say, this
about
isn't
that.
like a
Yeah.
a deal maker or deal breaker for me. But I'll also say that I didn't feel that there was anything like woke about this obsession movie. I didn't feel like even in the casting, I didn't feel like anybody did any pandering to anybody. It's just like some dude made the movie he wanted, and when you have 750,000, nobody can tell you anything. You know what I mean? Nobody could say, "Oh, why didn't
Hmm.
you put like rainbow people in it?" Like no, nobody has time for that when you when you have 750,000. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he doesn't
True.
owe that to
True.
anybody. He's like, I'm making my movie. Screw you. Who knows who these actors are? Maybe like they were like living in his basement or something. Who knows? So Devil Wears Prada. You know, the thing is that I actually am not a fan of this movie. Like it was all right for whatever it was supposed to be, but to tell you that I think that this is like worthy of such a box office, not really. At the same time, it must have, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it made money. It's already 5.5 times the production budget. But what I will say is this: notice how when Disney stops trying to make Star Wars for women and Marvel for women and this for women and that for women, not that women can enjoy those. When I'm saying when they make a movie that is targeted towards women, they go out and they watch it. You know what I mean? They made this Devil Wears Prada thinking a lot of ladies are going to go out and watch this movie because they like this thing. And then, sure enough, they went and they saw it. Do
Well,
you get what
yeah.
I'm trying to say? And
Of
I don't
course,
have an
yeah.
issue with it. The thing that annoyed me while watching it wasn't that I thought it was either good or bad. It did whatever was serviceable enough for whatever it's supposed to be, I guess. The part that annoyed me, it's like, yeah, when it's Star Wars, you do all this weird shit. In this case, they didn't even do any they didn't even inject a million agendas in it or anything. They just made their movie, you know what I mean? Because the movie, I guess, was already quote unquote like already progressive as it is. There's ladies, they're powerful, they're this and that. So they're just like, okay, let's just do whatever, and they just let them make the movie. So there, they don't start like lecturing them and forcing them to do this and do that and all this stuff. It's Devil's Wears Prada. They're like, no problem. Here's a carte blanche. Do whatever the fuck you want. Sorry, Sean. Whereas, once they run into Star Wars, all the men have to be stupid and dumb, and the women have to tell them what to do. So yeah, it's the same way that I felt about Barbie. Barbie is not a movie. I'm not the target audience for it. These Devil Wears Prada movies, I'm not the target audience for it. I have no problem. Make 10 more of these Devil Wears Prada movies. Focus on that and cater to the demographic that likes them. I'm not bitter about it. You know what I mean? Make those movies for people who actually want to watch it. The
Of course, yeah.
Kardashians is a TV show that I've never watched, but they have really good ratings because ladies like to watch it. There is a show called
They love
All
that
Is
stuff.
Fair. What'd you say?
They love that stuff.
They love it. They love that shit. That's what you wanted to say, but it's true. Sorry, Sean. So, there's this show called All Is Fair where Kim Kardashian plays like a lawyer who's going through a divorce or has lovers or whatever. It is one of the worst shows that I've ever seen, ever. It is so awful. And somehow they recruited credible actresses. You have like Naomi Watts, you have Glenn Close, like actresses that know how to act, like that are in this. Sarah Paulson, you can like those ladies or not, but they know how to act. They brought like basically Kim Kardashian and whoever the producers are, I guess, opened the wallets to bring these ladies. And the more like kind of ladies with pedigree that surround Kim, it kind of makes her look better. The show is a complete piece of garbage. That All Is Fair. It is a disaster. It is so awful. And yet they put it on and the ladies watch it. Not only do the ladies watch it, the ratings were so good from this disaster of a show as it came out that they quickly renewed it for another season. I still wonder to myself, I feel like probably Glenn Close, who's been like, nominated for 70 awards, both in like Oscars and Broadway and all this shit. And then at the end she probably did this hoping nobody watches it, probably thinking it's just gonna go on. I'm gonna collect my check, it's gonna go on for a few episodes, everybody will make fun of it, and that'll be it. And I wonder the look on her face the day that her agent called her and said, Good news. Good news, Glenn. We're going It's immediately renewed for another season. The ratings are through the roof. I wonder what she thought to herself. Do you get what I'm saying? Like she's considered like a really good actress, and at the end she has to sit there at age like 80 or something, sitting with like Kim Kardashian and this stupid thing. Not to mention, even Naomi Watts and Sarah Paulson have a lot more like credentials than her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, they're like, their agents are like, "You did good, ladies. You're going to be on this stupid show again with Kim Kardashian." They probably, I assume that deep down, without telling anybody, they probably resent it. They'll take the money. They'll take the money.
They'll
But I'm
take the
sure there's
money.
a. They'll take the money and they'll be good sports about it. But there's somewhere deep down inside there they're thinking, I make all these like stuff that's more artsy. Nobody watches them. At the end, I'm doing this shit and people like it. So yeah. So in any case, Devil Wears Prada has an audience. That's the situation. That well, the ladies like it. It's the same thing with those Sex and the City movies. They made Sex and the City movies. They were awful, but there's a lady audience that wants to go see it, and I don't have an issue with it. Barbie for ladies, Sex and the City for ladies, Devil Wears Prada for ladies. It's all fine. Now, I'm not saying I know ladies that actually like Star Wars or like action movies or like a lot of different things, but usually the type of ladies that like those are not the ones that want to see girl bosses. Do you get what I'm saying? Ladies that I've met that like Star Wars, they like it for the same reason that I like it.
Well, yeah,
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like
they liked
ladies
it
that
because of the strong characters, the enjoyable
right.
story, the adventure of it. Like there is not just one very specific kind of woman that only likes one kind of story. And that doesn't mean that Star Wars was perfect for everyone. It wasn't. Not everybody loved Star Wars. But there
Right.
were fans, and there were women who liked Star Wars for what it was. They did not. These women who liked Star Wars for what it was were not saying, "But gosh, I wish they would totally ruin Luke Skywalker and instead have a woman who's amazing at everything be the center of the story."
I know ladies that liked Marvel before it became the MCU. And you know what? They liked going to see movies. They liked that there were men that went to the gym that were doing like superhero stuff. This isn't stuff that bothered ladies. Like they knew what that was and they liked it for whatever it is. Uh, Turning these things into like girl properties or girl things is such a huge failure, and it's only the dum dums, the way it was managed at Disney, between activism and just lack of competence, really not understanding, uh, really misunderstanding the whole situation, the whole franchise. So yeah, in any case, like I said, I don't care. This movie is going to continue to make money. It's a winner for Disney. They're probably now lining up another 5 of them, and go, you do it. You go, girl. You do more.
You
There could
go.
be 10. 10 Devil Wears Prada. Make it the Devil Wears Prada universe. The DWU. The Devil DWPU. PU is good. In any case, the DPU, you could do that and do like for every character, do a spin-off where there's 7 other stupid things happening and they're going to 20 other fashion shows. I'm all about that. Make as many as you want of this shit. See, the lovely Sherry says, I haven't seen the first one. It's not my kind of movie. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the thing. Is some ladies don't actually like this kind of stuff, and that's fine too. But I have met ladies that like it. Sometimes also, you'll see ladies that are even more in our kind of sphere or whatever it is, and suddenly a movie like Wicked is released, and we're sitting around there saying, "Oh, it's terrible." Suddenly, you see a few women saying, "Oh, I kind of liked it." So there are certain movies that appeal to a more female demographic, even females that are cool. Sometimes there'll be a movie that they like that a man wouldn't like. And maybe even females that are cool and like a lot of stuff that I like, maybe when it's too much action or too much this, maybe it annoys them. I don't know. But it's fine. People have different things that they like. It's important to understand who your audience is. Disney has failed at that miserably. Their strange conversion of franchises that were more driven by young men or men of all ages, that they tried to convert that into lady franchises, is super odd, and it's a failed experiment, and it's so rare that I've seen people for like a decade fail and fail and fail and fail just over and over again. No, let's try it again. This time it'll work. No, this time it'll be good. I feel like every director, every screenwriter said, you know, these other guys tried it, they didn't do it, but they weren't as good as me. I'll show them how to do it. And then that person did it, and that didn't work. And that's kind of what's happening now with Christopher Nolan and that, you know, Odyssey thing. I feel like
Oh no, yeah.
he's like, you know, all these people they did this woke thing, but they were doing it wrong. You know, when I, Christopher Nolan, do it, it's going to be great, and I'm not sure that it's going to be. You know,
There you
also,
go.
South Park, I don't know. It's so weird. I didn't even look at this. I just, like, I feel like I've just kind of tuned out of, like, whatever these South Park people are doing, which is so sad because for so many years I had so much respect for them. Uh, I don't even know what's happening on that show. I started watching, like, the last season that they did. I will, for the record, say is that there's nobody that's, like, you know, immune from parody, including not Trump. Actually, Trump definitely is something that you could do parody.
Oh
The
no, yeah, absolutely.
he you know,
It
he
should be.
himself see himself is like a satirical figure without even noticing, that he is like one at times. But what I'll say is that had they made 1 episode, 2 episodes, and it would have been like they're telling some jokes, a two-parter, or whatever it is, it's fine, you did your thing, move on. But they now seem to have dedicated, like, a whole season just for, like, the Orange Man, and you know what? It just felt like too much for me. I watched, like, the first episode, I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then, like, the second one, and then I'm like, "What, their whole season now they're gonna be doing this?" So I kind of fell off, which is sad because, yeah, you know, back in the day, up until maybe this season, I won't say that the later seasons were as good as the early ones, but I had so many positive things to say about the South Park creator guys, and, I have less to say about them now. So they went to Jimmy Kimmel, I guess, the other day. And on Jimmy Kimmel, I didn't even see it. I guess they were explaining to him how they, in their South Park, how they made Trump have like a small penis and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like, isn't there anything else you could be doing? Like, sure, I again, if they would have made like, you know, first 2 episodes of the season, all like, you know, all about him, and they're laughing at him, even really harsh. It's satire, it's parody. That is fine, but to just continue the whole season and just make their whole identity now about like having TDS, it's so weird because they held out for so long not being that way that at the end it's almost like 20, 30 years they were all like solid, like, you know, always like, you know, never falling for these weird traps, and suddenly like right before the finish line they became stupid.
I think they just ran out of material.
Yeah, I mean, somebody paid them like billions of dollars and they're just like, you know, going through the motions at this point. Maybe they're like Colbert, they ran out of material.
They
But
just decided it's too much work to make other jokes. So let's just make fun of Trump.
I guess so, but you know, like I said, there could have been 2 hysterical episodes where they do, like, you know, a two-parter, focus on him, on his cabinet. There's certainly jokes there, and they don't have to be, like, all nice about it. They could really go all in, tell all the jokes, but there's 2 things. One, that it just became a show only about that, which is weird after all these years, and the other thing is and I've said it before, when Biden was in there, I didn't see them doing these kind of things to, you know, to his when he was president.
Not even
No,
once.
not even once, and totally could have. If they would have done that and, like, they're doing Trump, that would have even been better. It shows that they're, like, an equal opportunity offender, but
There's a show ready written there for them to show Biden just like in a sitting in the corner in a diaper with with a bib on drooling while President Otto Pen actually runs the country. Like there's already a joke written for you right there. Whole episode.
right.
They weren't going to do that. They
Uh
weren't going to touch that with a 100-foot pole.
So, you have the Sheep Detectives, made a few extra dollars. I'm really rooting for this movie. I saw it before everybody else, and I said it was good. I see now I don't wanna say names. I see now, like, you know, some, guys are like, "Oh, I wanna tell you," like, all the and everybody's, like, complimenting them. It's like, "Guys, I saw this before all of you, and I said it from the first day that I thought it was a pretty good movie, and now everybody's discovering it." It's okay. I'm not bitter, though, Professor.
Nope, not a bit.
It's
No.
not that I put in the work and I do everything early and then they're just kind of like, you know, Johnny come lately. But I don't want to throw anybody under the bus and I don't want to mention names. I'm definitely gonna be mature and not bitter about this.
Mature and not bitter,
Mature,
not
not
even a
bitter.
little. We got some super chats, man. We should probably grab a few of those.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's see for a second. I'm switching account. I wanna make sure I find it. Your channel. Oh, I think it's here. Okay, super chats. Oh, wow, we do have a few. Hold on one second. Are you ready, Professor?
Yes.
Okay. I also you can't say I'm not early to see movies. Like, for me, when a movie comes out, I'm already there, I'm giving reviews, I do all this stuff. So, here's what we have. We have, The Real Head Case, so they stole it from Pet Cemetery. I wouldn't say they stole it from Pet Cemetery. I was just saying that in Pet Cemetery, you have that idea that you're wishing for something to happen that's, like, not what happens in real life, and you're asking for that to happen, even though in that case it's like by burying your loved ones in the pet cemetery, but you're doing it because you're trying to cheat nature or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? You're trying to cheat something and get something that you're not supposed to get. And the idea in Pet Cemetery is that you do that thinking, oh, I'm going to get back my loved one, but it turns out that it's not really, your loved one that you're getting. And I think that uh in that sense, in this movie that was talking about obsession, there's a guy who really, there's a woman that he's really excited about, and he's, uh does that thing where he's trying to get her, but at the end of the day, these things can run into issues.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's the same idea of careful what you wish for, although it's in two very different directions. It's not like while I was watching Obsession, I was thinking, "Oh, this is like Pet Cemetery." I'm just saying that the idea of wanting something, thinking that that thing will be perfect, but that thing at the end ends up being the opposite of what you thought. That's what it is. And the monkey's paw is the same thing. That somebody, I think, the monkey's paw. The story is somebody gets that paw. He has three wishes, and again, things don't turn out so well for the person that has the monkey paw. And he's just trying to get rid of it so that somebody else takes it and they get the monkey's paw. Uh, so yeah, and somebody, I guess, people were mentioning, I think it was Matthew Marcillo, were saying it sounded like an '80s movie, like that there's something supernatural. It's not a bad thing. Didn't mind it at all. So they didn't steal it from Pet Cemetery. Then Professor R2, you've been a member and moderator, and you're here for 20 months, and you're the co-host. Really like a renaissance man here at Price of Studios Live.
I do all the things.
Elizabeth Quinn says there is a line in the old Secret Garden where he angrily declares, "I'm not bitter." Funniest line, I hear it every time Price says that. Yep, that's me. I'm not bitter at all. Uh, yeah, Biden was never mocked in South Park, and
No,
that's really, that
never.
if it was a situation that that anybody that's like going anybody in any position, they're just tearing into them all day, well, that's part of the game. Then all bets are off.
Yeah.
But the fact that it seems so one-sided, and not only that, I would have even accepted the one-sided, even though it's strange. But I would have said like, okay, you did a few episodes. The fact that their whole life is now based on it, so sad because like if there were ever two guys that didn't need any of this, that were like always the ones that go against the grain and just doing whatever their own thing, that's them. So disappointing for me. And I don't say this. I always clarify here. It's not that I sit around and I have like posters of Trump on my wall or anything like that. I don't like it when everything is one sided. To try to suggest that all those like wackos on the far left are great, and not to criticize them or not to criticize certain things in that direction, and just aim all your criticism in one specific direction. I don't like that. I'm
Yep.
going to give you an example that something happened this week that actually it was strange because it was something that I should have liked, but I didn't like it. Are you with me, Professor?
Mhm. Yeah.
There is a guy. Let's see if I can find it. I'm going to try to find this thing. Where is it? Middle finger. He did a statue of a middle finger for Mamdani.
Oh.
Did you see that?
No.
So basically, let's see if I can share this. I'll get back to that other one. So this sculptor guy, Scott Lebedo, I don't really know if this is a known sculptor. He made a sculpture of a middle finger and put it in front of like Gracie Mansion or wherever he put it. I don't know, wherever Mumdani is, he put it so that like, it's giving him the finger.
Mhm.
And you also had he posted these videos that he's all like excited and, cursing him out and all this stuff. I can't find it now, but especially the video of the guy like explaining why he did it and all that stuff. Can't seem to find the video of the guy. Let's see, Scott. That's what his name is. Where is that thing? Professor, I swear there was a video of the guy that put the thing there. And he's like cursing him out and doing all this stuff. And when I saw it, I said to myself that, especially when I saw the guy and how like, excited he was about, saying that he is giving Mamdani the finger and all that. I didn't I think this is it. Oh, here. Did you see this?
Hmm.
Shitty Hall. The artist that is successful is the artist that can capture the emotions of his village. Here, in my sculpture that I created, is a gift to the mayor, Man Dandy of New York City, and it's also a gift from the people of New York. I give you Fafangola.
So, I mean,
I've seen
it's my
that guy before. Yeah, he's well known. Yeah.
well, the thing is what I'll say is that I don't love it when I see these kind of TDS people. And don't get me wrong, I do not have one good word to say about Mamdani. I absolutely the opposite is true. I am not a fan of his. That is putting it mildly. I'm trying, to be civil, but I am not a fan of Mamdani at all. So it's not that like I see this guy and his sentiments and like they upset me that that's how he feels. But at the same time, sometimes like I'm trying to think that if it was something the opposite, if it was like, you know, a leftist person or far left person doing all this stuff and having like all these things to say in front of the White House, I probably also think that like, I don't know what to say. It's like it feels a bit cringe to me, even though I don't disagree necessarily with the sentiment. I just don't know if I like the way that it's going about it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Like
Um,
it feels a bit juvenile or something. I'm not trying to knock anybody's hustle. By all means, like embarrass him and show like and expose him. This just feels very kind of you know what I'm trying to say.
vulgar?
Right, but, like, not
Yeah,
even
I mean,
in a way I don't know if to say it's vulgar in a way that's trying too hard or I don't really know what words I'm looking for here, but I'm saying that, like, if let's say there was a woman with blue hair that put up a middle finger in front of the White House, and then she was, like, all just, like, cursing him out and whatever, I think, yeah, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the uh the uh the guy specifically that's doing this, right? Um he is a very well-known artist and activist. In fact, he's been arrested dozens of times in protests and stuff like that. He's really well known for his quote unquote patriotic art. Some of it very patriotic, some of it more protest art. But he's really well known, and obviously this is one of those one of those situations where he's not on the side of the guy who's running the city now. He's very upset with the way things are going. So it's
Listen,
not surprising to see him get out there with
I
using his art in protest, as that is something he has been known to do pretty frequently. So
and I'll tell you what,
yeah.
I understand if somebody's unhappy with Mamdani. I am still, I don't really fully understand how that guy got elected. I mean, I understand how he got elected. It's just sad to me that New Yorkers elected that guy because that guy, uh, he, I personally couldn't think of a worse candidate than Mamdani for several reasons. When it comes to his experience, when it comes to his ideologies, when it comes to his politics, when it comes to sort of this kind of anti, U.S. anti other places mentality. I don't like what this guy is and what he represents. And yeah, I mean, I don't have anything good to say about Mamdani at all. Not my cup of tea. But at the same time, this is going to pain me to say this. I feel pain now saying this. Uh, all those New Yorkers elected him. He couldn't have done it without them. You know what I'm saying? Got the votes. They elected him. I think it's a big mistake that they elected him, but even though I dislike him, they did elect him.
Mm-hmm.
This is making me feel rather nauseous thinking about that, but that's the truth. In any case,
yeah. So we got
Born
through
to
all the we got through all those super chats.
well, we didn't get through all of them, but
Did we
there's
get through
Born
all? Okay.
Born
Yeah,
to
there's
Be
one.
Down gave a $2 Rumble rant saying Professor R2 is our very own Marco Rubio. LOL, dude wears many hats.
Okay.
That is 100% true.
Yep.
And
then
then
there was one more that came in on YouTube as well.
wait, let's go to the screenshot of the other things. Uh, a failed experiment. Yes, sir, we love women. I guess that all that Star Wars and MCU stuff was a failed experiment. I assume that that's what you meant, the real head case, and thank you for the $2. And then we have Jason Jason Webster with $5. Very happy no other choices won 2 honors at the 24th Directors Cut Awards last night, including Best Director for Park Chan-wook. Didn't see that. Can't comment because I really just don't know. But I'll take your word for it. It sounds good to me. You said there was another super chat that came in afterwards?
There's one more that came in after those. Yep.
Okay. Let's see. We have another one from Jason Webster. Thank you so much, Jason. And now, let me just try to pull this one up. Okay. So, news and briefs. Pedro Pascal to play Bubbles the Chimp in Michael 2. Hey, that's I actually prefer that he wouldn't play him personally. I think that I'm tired of seeing him.
I would kind of prefer that I didn't see Pedro Pascal playing anything ever again.
I feel like we see so much of Pedro Pascal.
Freaking everywhere, man.
He's just in every movie and everything, and they just can't get rid of it.
Yeah. So, all right. See what we talked about obsession. Yeah. And so sounds like something might be great for some people. It's actually doing really well in the theaters. That's awesome. What else? What else we got, Bryce?
What else do we have? Let me see. What's on our docket, Professor?
Well, of course we have the Mandalorian and Grogu. Not that we've seen it. I mean, I don't know that you might have. I haven't.
No, you know what annoys me? There's this kind of list that from time to time they invite me to, I get invites to premieres or things like that. There was a premiere, I think it was yesterday, and I didn't get an invite. And it kind of annoyed me that I didn't get an invite, but I didn't get one. And it's too bad because I would have gone. Not that I even like it or am eager to see it, just because I would have had an early review. So in that sense, I lost out. But
exactly, yeah.
It is what it is. So nothing we can do now.
But yeah, the reviews are coming in hard and fast for for Mandalorian and Grogu, and no one at Disney can be happy about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
it is unpleasant. Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
see what the reviews. Let's
even
see.
some of the biggest yeah, pull up whatever site you like. I know there's been a few that have been going around that are, well, frankly, they're kind of savage in how bland they are. Because with the entertainment media, right? They're always going to try and glaze this stuff. They're always going to give it incredible reviews as much as they possibly can. And now, it's not looking. It's
The
not looking
the
good.
movie has a 61%, and I know I have sometimes I have no way of proving it. I sometimes think that in situation like this, Rotten Tomatoes in some way, and this is just my opinion, helps them out, if you understand what I'm saying.
Well, we already know that they help them out with the fact that they will mark movies as fresh that only receive a 6 out of 10.
Right.
That's practically a failure of a film,
Yep.
but they'll give it a fresh, right?
Yeah.
So
Let's see. So, like never less than Scott Mendelson.
yeah.
See, he doesn't write that he works for Baloney. Now it's the Outside Scoop Substack. Now, there's nothing wrong with having your own Substack, but considering that he blocked me
Hmm.
and that he was, very much into himself when he was the senior contributor at Forbes, just saying,
Oh, Matt Zoller. Oh, Matt Zoller Seltz. Oh my God.
there's no reason for anything in this movie except the wish to make even more money.
That is just brutal.
But here, this one is a fresh one, and it says there's no getting around it. The Mandalorian and Grogu plays like an extended episode. Whether that's worth the price of a movie ticket is in the eye of the beholder. That really doesn't sound very good, but it's a
Mm-mm.
fresh score.
Yeah.
Lacking narratively and in purpose, inconsistent tonally, and at times struggles to justify its need for a big screen outing. The spirit of Disney Plus series The Mandalorian doesn't live up to the standards set by other Star Wars movies. The movie's first half is a soulless and dull checklist of battles, while the second half flounders in predictability. And these are some people that, normally are all shilly, you know what I mean? And they don't seem to like it.
Mhm.
Some of them, gave it more positive stuff, but The Mandalorian and Grogu falls under the banner of what should be confined as the Jon Favreau special. Technically competent and visually spectacular, but lifeless and hollow underneath. The writing is bland, stale, and expository to a painful, exhausting extent. Uh, what Favreau delivers here is more like a double or triple episode. Well, they're all saying that. It's just that they stitch together a few episodes, and it's not going to really give anybody the excitement of a Star Wars movie. Here, even this one that's a fresh score is like Mandalorian and Grogu is basically four Mandalorian episodes wearing an IMAX trench coat. Like, even somebody that liked it, this is a fresh one. The script's pretty clunky too, and the plot is admittedly a bit episodic, but if you can leave your own Star Wars baggage at the door, it rattles along entertainingly enough. This is like a fresh score, you know what I mean? It sounds like a guy.
Entertainingly enough.
Right, it sounds like he's miserable.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. This is one of the laziest films in recent memory. It's just safe, disposable sci-fi slop. Oh, that's Jeremy Johns.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you watch his video, I'm not the biggest Jeremy Jahns fan. I think most of the time he gives movies a pretty even shake, though. And I watched his video, and it's pretty harsh.
I believe that. Christian Toto, nonstop action, brain dead dialogue, mark latest attempt to keep franchise afloat. Yeah, it doesn't seem too good.
Yep. Well, I still have my tickets for Thursday, so we will.
Oh, we're gonna definitely talk about
We're
it.
still going to talk about it on Thursday after we get our own impressions of this. But
We
so
sure
far,
are.
a lot of the same feelings, a lot of the same ideas have been coming out from a lot of these different reviews. We talked about some of the social media reactions on Thursday. Now today was the embargo date, so we got all the real reviews coming out from everybody, and it sounds a lot like what some of the early reviews were, the social media reactions were saying, that this is a film that is made for kids, young kids, single digit age kids, toddlers, and it's too long for toddlers to sit through. And in fact, if you listen to Chris Gore, he basically said after the first half of the movie, the rest of it is dull as dishwater, just boring. He said basically that he does not pull out his phone during a movie. It's rude. It's something he doesn't do. He said, I was just so extremely tempted to pull out my phone while this movie was on because it was just that boring. And yeah, I have no doubt that's going to be the case. There's been more than a few of these reviews that have been pouring in. That this is a rough mess of a film. I shared a specific review here, Price, from the Times UK. The Mandalorian and Grogu, it's time to kill off Star Wars for good. That's how terrible. He gave this, I think, a 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5. The franchise has become the dying dog of Hollywood, as this latest sorry effort demonstrates. Pull the plug, we must, as Yoda might say. Unbelievable. I mean, we all had our suspicions, right, that this was going to be a mess of a film, or that it was just going to be just another episode of a TV show put up on, instead of being on streaming, put up on the big screen. And it's so much worse, or at least it seems so. Again, we haven't gotten to see it yet, but wow. There are feeble nods to The Empire Strikes Back here, and palsied winks to Return of the Jedi there, as if callbacks from the Iron Man director Jon Favreau had some magical revitalizing power and were not symptomatic of a film and a franchise that exists in a grim, creative void. Oh, and so you must, Mando. And so, if you must, Mando, Pedro Pascal is back. Yes, everyone's favorite intergalactic buckethead has returned. He still fights like your mom, though, and is generally hopeless without his wrist-mounted flamethrowers, and mostly waits to be rescued by his pint-sized sidekick, Grogu, a.k.a. Baby Yoda, a.k.a. the bargain bin clearance toy of Christmas 2028.
Yeah, I guess
It's
the Times didn't receive a check this time around.
No, absolutely savage. Grogu is a dud, non-character, invented only for marketing memes and laptop stickers. He clearly possesses enough force energy to solve all the film's narrative dilemmas, minor to major, at all times, but only intervenes during the climax because, well, that is his cue. As the actual Yoda would say, no sense it makes for the mentally weak is this film. Oh, if you want an entertaining read, folks, oh man, this review is
No, but they also had the
savage.
Hollywood one with and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Time. Time to kill off Star Wars for good. Yeah.
Let me see for a second. Chris Gore. I think he did the thing
Yeah,
which
so he gave it a 1 out of 5. This reviewer for the Times.
Oh,
Fold
this
the
is what I wanted to show
companies.
you.
Fold the companies, cancel the forthcoming movies, and close the theme park. You wouldn't leave a dying dog like this, but that's what Star Wars has become. Putting it down would be a mercy killing.
Oh, and Martin Scorsese provides the voice of a four-armed capuchin monkey called Hugo, so that's nice.
Yeah, I think it's like a bartender or something. It's
That's funny. So let me show you. So Chris Gore,
yeah.
Variety wrote The Mandalorian and Grogu review, an efficient adventure that only pretends to be real Star Wars movie. Maybe that's a good thing. So then he wrote, they're doing that, and that's a good thing. Because there's always that like Hollywood speak of like, oh, that's not what you wanted, but that's a good thing. I think one of the first people
Yep.
that highlighted that was Gary Nerdrotic, who did a whole video about it.
Not actually a Star Wars movie, but that's a good thing. What?
They always do that. They're
What
like,
does that mean?
but that's a good thing.
Oh, this movie actually sucks, but that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Okay, if you say so.
Weird. Completely weird. I'm trying to see for a
strange.
second. So what else did we have on our docket? So yeah, this doesn't
Yeah.
look like it's gonna. We're gonna be able to talk more about Mandalorian and
Yeah,
Grogu on
we'll get to
Thursday.
spend plenty of time on
We're
Thursday.
definitely gonna talk about it. You better believe that.
Yep.
So
Robot Head says he's going to be going to see it.
is he here?
He's in the chat. Says he's
Oh,
going
I
to go.
missed him. Where is
Says
he?
he's going to go see it. He says tomorrow only for work. I'm dreading it. Yeah, I'm same. Same. I wouldn't be going to see this if we weren't going to be here hanging out and
Where
talking
do you
about
see?
it.
I'm trying to find Robot Head. I can't see him in the chat.
11:53.
Oh, here I see him.
Yeah.
Robot Head is very quiet when it comes to his presence.
Just listening in. He's lurking.
Seeing it tomorrow only for work. I'm dreading it. How are people seeing it tomorrow?
Well, I mean, his tomorrow for him would be the premiere.
Oh, that's like
Yeah.
Friday for us. His tomorrow is like our Saturday.
His tomorrow would be Thursday, so it'd be the day that we get to see it.
Ah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, he's already in Wednesday.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm always confused until this day. I don't get the whole Australia thing. The time is so different. But I did have a funny moment with Robot Head where I mentioned some comment that he made, and I was happy that other people didn't hear. I mean, the truth is, even if other people heard what I said on the stream, do they know that Robot Head is Robot Head? Thought about that later. Meaning, you realize Robot Head could be a guy that just walks around in society in Australia, wherever, I don't know. I've never been to Australia, so maybe he walks around like, Byron Bay. And I think that's a place. That's a place, right? Who the fuck knows? I want to say that Robot Head likes to hang out in Byron Bay. He probably sits around and drinks at bars there or whatever. And they don't know that he's Robot Head. See, when they see him, he seems like somebody else. Only we know that he's Robot Head. Do you get what I'm saying?
Only we know.
Only we know. Actually, the same could be said about me, but the thing is that like nobody, I think that more people care to find out who Robot Head is than care to find out who I am. I'm sort of like at the bottom of the barrel of people wanting to find out who I am. But yeah, I mean, I walk around places and I just do my thing, and most people don't know that I am also an orange puppet that talks.
I mean,
in the middle of the night.
you've done all those meetups and nobody showed up.
That is true. I have done meetups, and not even one person has showed up. I always thought to myself that maybe one day I would do it. I haven't done it in a while. That one day I would do it and somebody would show up. Like one time I thought it would work and it never did. I think that once I was, like, in Portland, Maine, and, I did post that for the next 5 minutes, I'll be at this restaurant or whatever it is. Somebody not too long after said, "Hey, I'm not so far." But it still was probably, like, an hour or half an hour away, you know what I mean? By the time that person may have gotten to the place, it was too late. But,
Yep.
Robot has says nobody knows. It's funny because like, it's strange to have a double identity, and it's also not something that you can, like, say to anybody, you know? Recently, somebody's like, "Oh, like, tell us about the stuff you're doing about this and that," and yeah, I do some stuff, so I just talked about a few things, but, like, I can't really talk about this, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Did I tell you that I once, was, in maybe in the past year, I went to, like it was sort of a I wanna say, like, a party? Some people that I know, actually kind of nice people, but, they invited me, and I was sitting down, there was like a it was like a dinner party.
Huh.
Are you with me?
Yup.
Like a pretty with pretty decent people doing this kind of dinner party, and, I was invited, and I sat there, and next to me, there was a lady. Did I tell you this story?
It's not ringing a bell.
So, basically, she sits there, and she tells me that she works for YouTube, and, I mean, she wasn't the president of YouTube for sure. It's not that I'm saying she was, like, at the top of the pyramid, but she was, like, also not the probably whatever's the lowest of the barrel, she wasn't, like, the lowest either. She had something to do with, they were trying to sort of, she actually was talking to me about AI and trying to find AI and, like, I complained. I said, "There's so much AI slop and, like, it's being promoted all the time." I don't know, I said some stuff, and I had a lot of knowledge, like I was talking about a lot of stuff, and then I'm like, yeah, I know because of this and that and this and that. And then she says, you have a YouTube channel, and she works at YouTube, and I said yes. So she's like, tell me what your channel is, I'd love to look to see what you do or whatever it is. And I wouldn't tell her.
Yeah, it's like, well,
I said to
I
myself,
kind of have a like a nom de plume that I don't really want you to go there.
I mean, the thing is that, and she was kind of offended, she's like, what, I work there, you can tell me who it is. And actually, this lady could actually get my real name from the people that invited me, and if she really wanted to, I suppose she could go dig in the records and maybe dig me up, but I don't think she made that kind of effort. I hope she didn't. But a voice in my head told me, "Don't say anything. Don't say who you are. Don't say what you do. Don't say a word." And I'm just like, "Nope, nope. It's something that I do. It's kind of have to do it in my own way. I like being anonymous. Very, very important to me." She's like, "Yes, but I work there." I'm like, "I understand." So that was the conversation I had, but I never revealed my secret. But
You
yeah, it's
never did.
weird. I've caught myself, like, on very rare occasions, maybe to somebody, or I'd say, "Oh, like I posted a review about it," and then I realize I shouldn't have said that because what review did I post? And then somebody's like, "What do you mean you posted a review?" I'm like, "Ah, well, I do this thing, like, it's like I just start, like, squirming out of it, nobody fully understands what that means." You can't start explaining also what the night owl is. I'm like, I sit with some, Professor R2 and we talk about stuff.
So with this guy who has a droid avatar, and we talk about stuff.
Absolutely. Putin
That's what
3
I tell
says,
people. Yeah, I hang out with this guy who pretends he's a puppet, and we
um yeah, I mean, it was very strange, and, probably I didn't give a good impression. People don't like when you do that, when you're not willing to share information. I think that it annoys people, and I didn't do it on purpose. It felt like the right thing to do. Like, awkward, I would, in the middle of this dinner party, tell this lady who I am. This was the part where I was like Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean? I can't tell her that I'm Batman while I'm Bruce Wayne at a dinner party. I don't even get invited to many dinner parties anymore, so if somebody invited me and it was like, it was kind of I wouldn't say like it wasn't not fancy. You know what I mean? Like it was. If you're directing a movie about me and my Bruce Wayne part where I'm not online, it would be funny that I would be at this party. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
This would be like the beginning where like I sit and I seem like a legitimate person in society, but then like I go home and like I'm sitting here like I'm doing the night owl. But yeah, so that was somebody says you're not Batman. I'm like Batman, but instead of doing good for people, I'm just kind of a douche. Like you do the Batman signal, and then like I'm a douche. That's
the price signal.
and you can do like a dollar sign or something. You can put it up in the air, like, and I'll show up.
He comes running.
Yeah, I wanted to save them.
That's funny.
Adam Gray says, so she wasn't that hot. You know, I'll tell you what. I don't know necessarily that she was 100% my style, but I also believe that she was in a relationship or something. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't really single. She wasn't with whoever the relationship was at this place. I'll say that. But I understood that there was some kind of relationship somewhere. So it wasn't a situation like that. And just to share my information of who I am or who I am online just didn't feel right at that moment. A
Yeah,
shadow appears on your face.
yeah.
So,
I'm sorry, I can't talk about that.
in any case, how did we get here, Professor?
Super chats and all sorts
You know
of
what the
stuff.
funny thing is? The funny
Yeah.
thing is that I was like, the one thing that I did tell her, I'm like, I'm tired of all this AI slop. At the end, wouldn't it be? It wouldn't be funny. But in my movie of like Forrest Gump stupid things, she then goes and she like leads the whole AI in YouTube. Going through the channels. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the trigger of the weird thing. Although I really don't think it was me, but do you get what I'm trying to say?
Sure, yeah.
She'll be like, I spoke with this man. He wouldn't tell me what his channel was, but apparently there's too much AI slop. We got to use AI to get rid of AI or whatever it is. And they're like that's how like the ball got rolling.
It's all been to hunt you down because you
Because I wouldn't tell her what the
because you
name of the
wouldn't tell
channel
who the
was.
channel was.
Like I put the whole thing in motion. I'm just kidding. I'm sure I didn't. And I also will. Again, she wasn't like the top dog at YouTube, but she was in some department that has to do with like spotting AI. And I don't know. I mean, I think that most of what I look at, it looks like AI slop to me. But what I know,
There certainly is a lot of it out there.
there sure is, Professor. So what else do we have on our docket? What else we were going to talk about? We talked about Obsession. We talked about Mandalorian. Disney Panics. The reason I said it is because they did that whole thing where they brought the phony influencers to meet Pedro
Oh
Pascal.
yeah, the whole thing with Pedro, yeah, where he had his helmet off more than he did in the whole movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had that stupid thing. Where was it? And it's funny because I thought that Gary did a good tweet today about it. I'm trying to see where it was. I think this is it. Let me try to share it. That he wrote here. The Access Media shills do not like competition because the Hollywood Reporter said Disney accused of staging viral Pedro Pascal Mandalorian fan surprise with influencers. And yeah, I mean, this is something that we're not used to seeing. They usually don't throw Disney under the bus like that, the Hollywood Reporter. Although, to be
Mm-mm.
fair, I do feel like from the second that Kathleen Kennedy stepped down, they're not as, ass kissy as they were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now it's okay for them to say that it's shitty, or even that she did shit. Even if they don't mention her by name, they can say for years it's been shit now. They can say all of it, now that she's, like, seemingly out of the picture, because she's still hanging around and she's still going to go around with the guy. What's a fuck? Ryan Gosling. Why did I call him Guy? I don't know.
Guy Gosling.
That guy. Ryan Gosling movie. She's still hanging around or doing whatever, but they don't feel as much loyalty now. I feel like they feel more comfortable throwing this movie under the bus than anything they've had in a long time. And that also signals something. And I think that they're bitter. It's like all these publications are losing more and more relevance, and even at the end they see these kind of shills getting this kind of access, and it annoys them. Suddenly they're like us, you know what I mean? Not that I really care, I never gave a shit, but I'm saying, it's strange that they now see things the way we see them. Didn't think that would be the day.
No, wasn't planning on that one.
Jason Webster says that is not a mustache on Pedro Pascal. That's a symbiote that has found a host. That is fair enough. Did we miss anything else? We didn't miss any
living off of him.
This or Rumble Rants or whatever it is.
I don't see any other.
So yeah, I mean, even this whole setup with these quote unquote influencers or whatever they are feels very much like desperation on Disney's end. I will still say that they invested, let's say they claim it's 166, even if they invested 200 and whatever it is, they're probably, based on the stupid numbers they claim that they spent on this, which are probably not accurate. They have a chance to make between 400 and 500 million on this movie. I still think they do, just from the kids, and they'll spin this as some kind of success. I personally don't think it's a success, but they're going to do everything they can. If it lands between 400 to 500, they're going to spin it as a success. I think some parents will take their kids to it. Some Star Wars people will go see it, even though it's not really a Star Wars movie, and it'll end up on Streaming Plus, and they'll explain Disney that this was like all part of their plan, that they plan to put it on streaming anyways. But this also gives them additional avenues to make money to sort of offset the cost of the movie, but then they can add it to the streaming service and give added value to there. And of course the streamer is going to pay them, so they're going to cover the budget that they themselves have a deficit on, and then they're going to go and say that it's the best thing that ever happened. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The and the projections for the openings and stuff for this, it right now they're essentially saying this looks like a very similar trajectory to what we got for Solo, except that Solo got a 3-day weekend. This is getting a 4-day weekend.
How much did Solo make at the box office? Do you remember?
Let's see. We'll wait for the numbers to load. The slowest site out there.
The dial-up modem.
Let's see. Star Wars.
Why can't I find Solo star? Okay. So I guess Solo made 393 million worldwide.
Yep. And so they're saying it looks like it might track to a very, very similar number. Obviously, things are a little bit different when it comes to domestic and international box office. Maybe it blows up in the international box office. They love it. I don't know. But right now there is just no hype around this at all. Disney has tried as hard as they can. I mean, obviously they could have spent even more on marketing. They could be, absolutely blanketing every media outlet with marketing for this, and they're not. It's out there, but it's not nearly as pervasive as when we spend a lot of time looking at these, the posts for industry people and other reviewers, and we see that being sort of in this area of the media, like we see a lot of this stuff, but I think a lot of people outside of that are not really that aware of this movie coming. Certainly, they have not heard some of the early reviews just yet. Some of them have, but a lot of them haven't. I think that the opening weekend is probably going to be okay. It's a 4-day weekend. The early projections were 85, 90. I wouldn't be surprised to see opening weekend push even maybe a little bit closer to 100. But I think the word of mouth for this movie is going to be dreadful.
Here's
I
the thing,
really
and I
do.
and I keep being reminded of this. Everything you're saying makes sense to me, but there's one thing that I'll say. When Mufasa came out, it initially didn't do very well, but I looked at it and I said, "This is a terrible movie." But I still saw a bunch of parents sitting there with their kids. Their kids at some point were walking around the theater, meaning the parents were just kind of dozing off. The kids were walking around the theater, and the parents just needed something that they could put their kids and let them watch some weird shit on screen. That's what Mufasa was like. And when I saw it, I said to myself, there's a brand name here. There's parents thinking, okay, this is harmless. I can take my kids to it. They'll be quiet for a few hours. I can get some rest and they can, do whatever they do in the theater. Nobody gives a shit. And when I saw that, I said to myself, this is probably at the time there were holidays going to make more money. It's not going to end up being like a complete stinker. Because of what I saw, I had a feeling that people will still take their children to see this. And at the end of the day, steadily, it continued just like, accumulating some money at the box office. It didn't do as well as the other, live action, the Lion King, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end, it was at least not a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that Grogu, as opposed to Solo, you can't take like kids that are like 3 years old, 40 years old that don't even know what the fuck's going on. With kids that are small, sorry, Sean, and you plant them in some theater, you let them hang around there. There's some green creature walking around. Probably the parents figure the kids are going to look at that. They'll be intrigued by it. Really young kids are just going to be like, okay, there's some creature here. And I think that that's what Disney are hoping for. Brand name, parents, children, and hoping that they can do like 400 to 500. I think it's theoretically possible. I think that it has more of a chance of doing, let's say, a 400 to 500 than Solo did. Like I said, Solo doesn't have these kind of cute creatures for kids. It wasn't a movie that was presented that it was for kids. It was just a movie. And came out after The Last Jedi. Nobody had any patience for it. As much as The Mandalorian sucks, like in season 3 especially, most people, especially like normies and parents going with their kids, they don't have that kind of baggage. No, don't get me wrong. It's not, I don't see this making like billions of dollars at the box office, but I'm saying like somehow the family element, summer, brand recognition, Grogu, all that stuff together for little kids could give this like something that maybe if with the right accountant they'll be able to spin it that it didn't lose money, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They'll somehow try to spin it as a win or something. Mando and Grogu still a better love story than Twilight. Twilight is an awful, awful movie. I've told you this before. I saw Twilight Part 1. I think I saw Twilight Part 2. The thing is I told you that I had a girlfriend at the time that liked these movies, but we broke up. So once we broke up, I didn't need to watch the rest of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's somehow like, I always say fix the glitch. That one fixed the glitch in my favor. Didn't have to watch that stupid movie. Man, I can't believe that I watched at least 2 of those shitty movies. I saw the first one where, the ever so drowsy Kristen Stewart, sleepwalks her way through that movie, and it was super dumb. Then you have the second movie. The second movie, I think there was something where now the other guy, like he went to the gym and he's a werewolf now, or some shit like that, man. And he wants to marry her, the Robert Pattinson. He doesn't want to marry her. Man, are those movies shit. Sorry, and Mega Geek. But that's exactly what they are. So awful, so
Just
awful.
just
I am
bad.
ashamed. But
Bad,
you
bad,
know,
bad, bad.
much
Yep.
like Devil Wears Prada, there is an audience of ladies that like Kristen Stewart sleeping through the movie in love with some vampire and werewolf and whatever that stupid thing is. There are ladies that love that shit, and I'm not judging them. It's fine. I like, when I see, like, First Blood Part 2, I'm happy. Sure, it's not for every lady. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I like, the Rocky movies. I don't know if every lady loves it, but I enjoyed Commando. I don't know if every lady likes that either. The Predator.
Definitely,
I mean, I
definitely not the target audience for Twilight films myself. No.
we are not the target audience. I did
Yeah.
suffer through at least two of those movies. I'm very proud of myself that I was able to endure that, but I'm also even prouder that I didn't have to watch the end. I don't know what happened. I don't know if did they stay together? Did they didn't stay together? Did Kristen Stewart become a vampire? Didn't she come? Is she now doing, like, eating people? I don't even fucking know, Professor, and I'm better off for it.
Yeah.
Better off for it. I can't believe they chose an actress who snoozed her way through like 5 of those movies, or however many movies that they had there.
Yeah. Well, and now
Oh.
she's super gay, and she's going off to make movies that are gonna make Trump angry.
I've
I
known that
believe
she
that's
was.
her only goal now.
I'm not gonna go over this again, but I was one of the first to learn of her preferences. Um, Underworld with Kate Beckinsale is a way better for Vamps and Wolves. I really liked Kate Beckinsale back in the day, but recently I think I saw a picture of her and I feel like she did some procedures which she probably didn't need to do. I understand sometimes women get older and stuff like that, but I think that there's probably something you could do where there's like light work, but once you have to do so aggressive work and you start looking weird, it's a shame because she was actually a very pretty lady. So kind of a shame. And sometimes you could still you know age but gracefully, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Six says that she enjoyed Commando. Well, that's good to know. That's why I like you, Six.
Commandos, solid film. A lot of
Matthew
fun.
Marcillo will never get over Kristen Stewart for ruining Charlie's Angels, that awful Elizabeth Banks. Yeah, that was a terrible movie. Kate was way better. Yeah, I mean, I like Kate. Like I said, I don't have anything against Kate, but I did see some pictures lately and I was rather disappointed. Uh, but that's just, my own. She's gone a little crazy, I think, unfortunately. Well, that's not always a bad thing. But that's an entirely different story, Professor, and one that we should probably steer away from.
I think I would rather go watch Commando in the movie theater again than go see
The real
Man
headcase
Conan
says she was so
Grogu.
hot in the first Underworld movie. She,
Oh, yes.
she in
Oh,
general
yeah.
was a
She
decent looking lady.
and
And I still,
those Underworld movies, those were not like box office gold, like, those were not high art, but man, they were fun. They were enjoyable, and they got worse as they went along, and but still, like, they were at least just some fun basic entertainment, right?
yeah. Uh, let's see for a second. So we think that, you're saying it'll be something like Solo. I think that it has the potential to be more than Solo, just not because it's a good movie, but because of what I told you. Summer, kids
Yeah,
in the theater, parents going to sleep. I think that, like, it's worth 400 to 500. I could be
yeah.
wrong. Maybe it'll be
I'm
200.
sticking with my prediction, which was 475.
I think that's
I think that is as high as it goes. It is not going any higher than that, and that is probably going to be enough for Disney to say it was a win. But we'll see. Maybe this is a complete just flat line when it comes to the international market, and it just performs okay here in the States. That's not going to be enough for it to get to 475. So, obviously, since Solo came out, the ticket prices are significantly higher, and most people are interested in trying to see it in IMAX, right? They want to go see it in the premium large format, which means they're going to be paying more for each ticket. So yeah, maybe all of that pushes it further up. But yeah, I'm saying, somewhere around 475 is what I think it probably is going to land on.
By the way, I'm trying to see what's going on here on other platforms. We have our Twitcher on Twitch. We have our local on locals. Technically, there really isn't a reason to stream to Twitch or to Kick. There was just a button, so I'm doing it. But we really don't. Like I said, I don't use either of those platforms. I don't know anybody there, or even how it works. I don't even know how one would promote it. So maybe somebody will run into it. We do have one person on Twitch and one local, so that's a good thing.
The phantom local.
Phantom local. But at the same time, when it comes to like YouTube and Rumble, always a good audience, and I'm happy
Yeah.
with what's going on those two platforms. Rumble is our headquarters for the Night Owl. If you didn't know that, let me try to find. I can't seem to find. Okay, was it this one? Here. This is our special logo, Professor. Do you see the technology?
Mm-hmm.
Only the best technology on the Night Owl. The Night Owl on Rumble has its own kind of special logo. And speaking of Rumble, since our headquarters are basically on Rumble when it comes to the Night Owl, I always say this, and I also will say it again. Nobody in this instance, nobody is asking me or saying anything that I. Nobody's offering money to shill or anything. I'm just saying I like Rumble because it supports free speech, and I've been here. I'm not like a guy that showed up now in the last 5 minutes. If you look back, I was one of the early adopters of Rumble. Understood very early on that it's an important platform, and it's important that it would exist because there's so many places today where people can't express themselves freely and things like that. Rumble has always supported free speech. I'm very much supportive of that. And yeah, so if you're watching this and some people watch Rumble through an app and you haven't yet subscribed, you should not subscribe, sign up. You should sign up for a free account, first of all. You could also sign up for premium, but that's something else. First of all, you could try it out even with a free account. And then if you see our channel, you could potentially follow us. And then every time we stream, you could be there right away, which is what you always wanted.
It's what I've always dreamed of.
Always dreamed of.
To know immediately when
Immediately.
streamers that I enjoy are streaming. I want to get notified.
Absolutely.
immediately.
I know that there's people at home, some guy talking to his wife saying, like, listen, I gotta get notifications for the Night Owl. I want to know when Price of Reason and Professor R2 are talking in the middle of the night. It's super important. I'm sure that there's many households that have that kind of conversation, just copy paste. Some relationships maybe even been tested because people are so adamant on watching our program and putting it above anything else, which we greatly appreciate.
You went a long way for that one, Price.
Went along. It was long. Yes, it was long-winded. I certainly made an effort here. In any case, what else were we going to talk about? By the way, Phantom Monk, don't forget at the end of this stream, we need to raid somebody. But again, try to find like a vanilla option. Like we like raiding like people that are swell and do kumbaya. Anyhow, where were we, Professor? I don't even remember.
Lanterns?
Oh, okay. Did you see that trailer for Lanterns?
Oh, I did.
I'm going to say something to you that a lot of times there's sometimes like, you put like a TV show or something and you watch it and you get bored in the middle and it's like 2 hours and you're an hour and you're bored. This trailer I was bored like 30 seconds into it. Like, I found myself tuning out of the trailer as I was watching it. Now, you really have to go out of your way to bore me with your trailer, but that's really how I felt. Did you happen to watch the trailer?
Yes.
Let's
Yep.
see if we can find it.
The
You happen to have a
the
copy
new
of it
Lanterns
handy?
teaser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it. Let's see if audio sharing is working.
Let's see.
You ready? Can you hear
Do
it?
it.
This ring.
You got audio?
Yep.
Okay. Let's start over. Meh.
It's boring. Like, I'm telling you that I actually, like, in the middle of it, just got bored.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's
this the ring looks fine. I don't mind that design on the ring. It's evocative of some versions of the ring that we've seen in the comic books over the years. Not my favorite, but it's fine. But like, oh, don't you think you should have to work for that power, whatever? Well, that's not how it works. That's not how they do things for choosing the ring. The ring chooses the user based on, criteria, specifically their resistance to fear, right? That's always been the thing. The whole like question, oh, did you interview for this, are you afraid, or whatever, that's a little silly, kind of
They keep
dramatic
asking you
version.
like 5 times, "Are you afraid? Are
Are
you
you
afraid?
afraid?
Are you
You're
afraid?" It's
afraid?
like,
You're afraid?
dude,
Yeah, it
shut
sounds like
up."
that's going to be like an overall like thing.
Some
Yeah,
bullshit, yeah.
he makes some cash so that he can play music in the machine here. Like what is he?
Yeah, it's dumb,
Okay.
man.
Strange. New series from DCC. We see him he gets in a fight here. We see there's a few times we get to see him using the constructs. I don't have a problem with the way that they're used here. We see him using, sort of creates a dome that prevents some kind of space laser from blasting down on people. There's him using it here to protect himself from gunfire. Fine, whatever. He keeps calling him Junior and stuff like that. It's like, what? Like that Hal never really did that.
They wanna make him look like the old
Well,
guard
yeah,
douche.
obviously. Yeah. He's gonna be the grumpy, nasty old
White
version,
male.
whatever. And I'm guessing, I mean, there's been some people that have been talking about this. I really hope this is not going to be the case, but there's possibility that he actually does turn into the bad guy at the end, right? Like he
Yeah, that's a
decides he's not willing
possibility.
to give up the ring, and so he potentially becomes some version of Parallax from the comic books, which is when he was possessed by the fear entity. It took a long time before they actually told us exactly what was going on, but initially it just looked like he was going crazy, like Hal was losing his mind, and he was attacking and killing lanterns and taking their rings and all sorts of stuff like that. There was that long storyline with him becoming the Parallax version of Hal Jordan, and then later on that was sort of retconned into him having been completely possessed by the fear entity Parallax, and that caused him to lose his mind and do what he did. And then I don't know. There's been some people that have been speculating that maybe that is going to be where they're going with this. Is that in the end, not only is Hal sort of this jerk and doesn't want to give him the ring, whatever, like that he actually ends up being the ultimate baddie at the end of this, which I would so hate. I mean, this is already awful, but that would be so much worse.
Looks shitty. And am
Yeah,
I wrong that it's just boring? Like,
I mean, it's
mid-trailer, You
It's
could turn this off
dull.
mid-trailer, and I wouldn't care.
It's dull. It's bland. The dialogue is nothing. We get this laughably awful looking takeoff that he does. What is what is this? He like pumps his fists to take off. Like it just looks
Very strange, Professor.
looks
And,
so bad. Looks
I think that
absolutely awful.
this thing was delayed due to reshoots and stuff. This is, I guess, after it's revamped.
I guess, yeah. He never changed all the way through this trailer. He never changes clothes. He's always just wearing this beat up old jacket and whatever. Not even a bomber jacket, which is what he would normally have been wearing from the comic books, from him being a fighter pilot, right? We get to see here's the bad guys. These are going to be the bad guys from the film. They are, of course, a bunch of white nationalists. That is what's been rumored anyway. We get to see John walking through the streets that have been all blown up, and he's carrying the lantern, so we can actually see there's the lantern from the series. And of course he faces off against what? Bunch of whiteys. Bunch of white country boys.
Right.
And so again, that's going to be the
you're saying that these are country boys that like to dress up as white ghost monsters?
Quite possibly, yes. And they quite possibly have very closely shaven heads. Yeah.
And also they are big connoisseurs of German mustache men.
This is also possible. It's also possible that they are boys who are very proud of
very proud of their German of their German mustaches.
Mm-hmm.
Very proud of their German mustaches, and they like to they're fans of Pac-Man because they themselves identify with white ghost monsters.
We get some more shots of the costume. Now this is a nice shot. This is well done. I like the CG here. I'm assuming that this is supposed to be either Oa or oh dang it, the name is escaping me. There is a planet that is a Green Lantern. And it's the name is not popping into my head.
Putin says, let's face it, they're all part of the new Trump fund.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
They certainly are. They're, in addition to all the stuff we said, they're also big fans of the Orange Man. I can only assume.
Ilor Corey says Earth. No, I don't think this is supposed to be Earth. I think this is supposed to be another planet somewhere else.
Never know.
Given the gigantic crack, the enormous crack in the side of it, but yeah, there's a crack in Uranus. Is that what Caleb is saying? No. So yeah. Anyway, there's some nice effects here. I don't mind that. But yeah, we get to see more of the actual costume. There
were a few stupid jokes in there, right? Like kind of a little humor or something.
Yeah. None of
like that MCU style shit. You know what I'm saying?
There's a little bit of it in there, but it's also very, very.
I feel like at the end, you're not going to believe this. I hope you're sitting down. I think that this show is going to make that Ryan Reynolds movie look halfway decent compared to this. That movie is going to look like better. Now, that's not really saying much, but it's like that interview that I had with that Mark Guggenheim guy that, it's not the best movie, the movie that he wrote, but there's worse movies than it. And this show somehow seems like of that one was misguided, that Ryan Reynolds one, but this looks like it's going to be a complete snooze.
Yes, it does. It looks very, very boring. I don't. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second.
I mean, Ayla Cordy's like, no, Bryce, stop. Listen, this thing doesn't look good. I'm telling you that, like, I'm bored watching the trailer. As much as that Ryan Reynolds movie wasn't good, and I don't think it was great. Like, it's not. I don't find myself ever rewatching it or doing anything with that Ryan Reynolds movie. I still will say that I was able to get through it. At least it was just like, a 2-hour movie, whatever it is. I was able to get through it and then not really think about it again. This series, I don't know how, like, maybe if we have to review it, I'll watch it, but this looks like a snooze to me. Like, if nothing else, at least Ryan Reynolds, especially, like, he has, like, some charisma, some whatever. He's probably the wrong casting for the role, and there's plenty of reasons why it didn't work, but at least he didn't put me to sleep. That's all I'm saying. Make of that what you will.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was moving my chair around and I got snagged on one of my travel bags here. It's all caught up in the wheels. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the name of the planet is Mogo. I could not think of it. It just popped into my head. Mogo. Yeah. There's
Cool.
actually a whole planet that is actually a Green Lantern.
The real
it's
headcase says Blake Lively sucks, literally. I will say that I've never been a fan of Blake Lively. Like, you know how there's sometimes like what's it called? Like the
Emperor's New Clothes.
Emperor's New
What?
Clothes, yeah.
Yeah.
So that I feel like Blake Lively to me has always been the Emperor's New Clothes. People are like, she's so great. Like now with this fashion company is signing her, this fashion, this thing, this, that. And then like Leonardo DiCaprio was dating her. I'm like, really? Why is he dating her? It's not that great. I mean, I really didn't think there was anything spectacular about her. I'm like, she's kind of just, I hate to say it, but I'm not gonna say, okay, I'm just like some like, middle-aged man, okay? It's not that there's for me, I suppose that like, somebody like Blake Lively looks fantastic, supposedly, if you put her standing next to me. But generally speaking, when it comes to these kind of Hollywood, glamorous star ladies, I don't think she's that great. I don't think she looks that great. Whatever she has, it doesn't appeal to me, really. She's not horrendous looking, but she's not all that. I don't know how this became a thing. Oh, like Leonardo DiCaprio, then she was like Ryan Reynolds and all this stuff. Like I really don't think very much of her, Professor,
Oh,
to be
nor
quite
nor do
honestly.
I. Yeah, not say I don't know that I necessarily have anything against her. I've never really seen her in anything. I thought it was all that she was all that talented.
Tomahawk says she's pretty but doesn't have the X factor. I agree with you. She's not like overwhelmingly spectacular. Obviously, if like I'm sitting at a bar and somebody that looks like her has come to like speak with me and she's like hitting on me, for me that would probably be like a good development. But if you're sort of like, Leonardo DiCaprio or Ryan Reynolds and the kind of money and fame and whatever that goes with that, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell them who they like. I just don't think she's all that. That's all I'm saying.
She is not all that.
Tomac says same with Margot Robbie. Uh, I have to disagree there. Like when I saw Wolf of Wall Street and I saw Margot Robbie in the movie, I thought she looked fantastic in that movie. Now, one would argue she's a bit older now than she was then, but quite honestly, I still think she looks good. I mean, I don't know if she could be annoying, and her Barbie movie was annoying and a lot of other stuff, but I can't say that like I don't think she's like gross or anything, if that's what you're implying. And I can't believe because this Professor, I'm about to say the dumbest thing I've ever said on the night owl. Are you ready?
Go for it.
If I had to choose, as if like I'd have this option, but if I had to choose between Blake Lively and Margot Robbie, and I had to select one, if they were both like into me, I would choose Margot Robbie.
Sure. I see where you're coming from.
But it happens all the time, you know what I mean? I have to face these kind of dilemmas on a daily level.
Every
Uh, the
day.
the real
Every
Hector
day.
says
Yeah.
Margot Robbie is fine. She is. Anonymous says Blake Lively is modern Hollywood, fading, nasty, mean-spirited, false, griping, illiberal, pinch fist, lick penny.
Wow.
All right. Margot was beautiful in Pan Am. She was. That was around the time of also that was a little before The Wolf of Wall Street, but yeah, those were her finest hours for sure. But I'm not going to be nitpicky. It's not that I think that she looks bad today. You could say that when you give her a microphone and she talks about feminism, there's a lot of stupid things that she says, and she seems like she's very much like a Hollywood type. But with that being said, I can't say that she looks awful or anything. Like, I think she looks good. That's just my personal opinion. I prefer Jamie Presley. She kind of reminds me of Margot Robbie, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
I don't even know how to process this information. NPC person one. I do not know. I mean, I don't know that Margot has that. That's allegedly, and I'd never even heard it before. Choose between Blake Lively and Grace Randolph, please. Man, unfortunately, I would have to go with Blake Lively on that one. Grace Randolph is very strange for me. I know some people that are into that kind of thing, but I don't know. Grace Randolph, I don't understand that whole person. I don't I don't understand what makes her tick, really. For the longest time, I
Neither
thought
do I.
Margot was Jamie Presley. Recently I saw a trailer, and I thought it was Margot Robbie in a trailer, and it ended up being Jamie Presley. Robot says they're identical. In any case, he never told me if he hangs out in Byron Bay or if that's even a real place. You didn't even know. There's a place called Byron Bay. I bet Robot had drinks beer there all the time.
Well, yeah.
Maybe he'll tell us. I think there's a beach there. There's like tourists and stuff and like a resort. Uh,
I've never been.
I've never been to Australia, but once I had to do some research on Australia. So I had to pretend I was from Australia, even though I knew nothing about it. And I had to pretend like I did know something about it. That's a very strange story, which best be left for another time. True story, but strange one nevertheless.
Mm-hmm.
Blake would accuse you of some whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't want any. She seems the very definition of like high maintenance. Putin 3 says Byron Bay is south of Brisbane. As far as I'm concerned, that's where Robot Head is from. Byron Bay is in a different state. Thor lives there. Oh, I didn't know that. It looks nice in the pictures. I didn't know. Chris Hemsworth is from there. Had no idea. It's good. I find out something new every day.
Thor's from there.
Were you in that fake Aussie band? I don't think so. I could never get away with the accent, so I couldn't even pretend to be from Australia. But no, I wasn't. I wasn't in a band. I did growing up. I did like Men at Work, and Men at Work, I think, are like a national treasure in Australia.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
has Colin Hay in that band, and
Yes.
Men at Work. Do you know?
Incredibly talented. Yeah.
Do you know that one of the guys in Men at Work allegedly, basically, his life ended
Mm-hmm.
because they were sued by some weirdo because they wanted the rights on the song Down Under. It's
Okay.
such such a weird story. There's something with a cuckoo tree or something like that.
Kookaburra.
Kukuru tree, or some shit like that, where I guess there's like a children's f song or something that somebody was singing, and, the flute in Down Under, the "doo doo 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 doo," it's kind of reminiscent of that, children's song. Now, the children's song, some lady actually wrote it, and when she, wrote it, she actually didn't wanna copyright it. She wanted anybody in the world to be able to use it, but when she died, I think it kind of went to her heirs, who then considered it her property, and then some other douchey businessman bought their rights or something like that, and then he sued, Men at Work. They were in court for years, and it must have cost them, like, millions of dollars in legal fees. The guy, like, became depressed, I think it was the guitar player, or I don't know who the
Yeah.
fuck else.
So it was. Let's see. It was Greg Ham. It was a member of the band. Yeah. So yeah, I was just looking at some of the details here. Larkin Music Publishing. They held the rights to a song called Kookaburra that was originally written in 1932.
That's what I told you, was some
Yeah,
children's song from, like, a million years
ancient
early.
song, and it was a flute line that was played in the
Uh,
sort of in the background of the Down Under song.
have I not
Uh,
impressed you, Professor?
yes, you have, yeah.
Okay, go on.
So they filed suit against them, saying that they were demanding 40 to 60% of all of the earnings from the song. So the judge ruled that Down Under contained a flute riff based on them, or on the original song Kookaburra, but stipulated it was neither the hook nor a substantial part of the song. But the judge ruled that Larkin Music, that owned the copyrights to the original Kookaburra song, should be paid 5% of the future profits for the song. And
All the
then
all the millions that were made throughout all the years, they didn't even give it to them. It's just a future thing. It's 5%. It was a petty bullshit lawsuit
yeah,
that drove the one of those band members. I think the one that
yeah.
played the
So
flute.
it was so Greg Ham's. It says Ham took the verdict personally, feeling responsible for having performed the flute riff at the center of the lawsuit, and worried he would only be remembered for having copied someone else's music, resulting in depression and anxiety. His body was found in his home in April 2012 after he had suffered a fatal heart attack at the age of 58.
What I remember is that he felt that they were basically saying that his biggest hit, that he's like a crook and he stole it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
He
honestly,
stole. Yeah, and he was the one that did the flute part, right? He was the one that added that to the song.
the thing is that I think that, from what I recall, the lady that wrote this thing in 1930 something, she didn't copyright it, and initially she had intended it just to be for everybody to use. So she, as long as she was
Tip that he's
alive,
a crook and stole
never
it. Yeah,
sued
yeah.
anybody. And
He
honestly,
stole. Yeah, and he was the one that did the flute.
Professor,
Yeah. Sorry, had an audio issue.
I had an audio issue too. It's so weird. Enemen in Room says 5%. That's a lot of Vegemite. We had a nice comment from Robot Head. Before I forget, where was that comment? He wrote, "People often confuse me with Chris Hemsworth, which is fucking offensive." I will, I could say something now, but I'm going to get in trouble. But I'll say it anyways, Professor. I feel that Chris Hemsworth didn't hasn't benefited enough from being Chris Hemsworth. Meaning, if I was Chris Hemsworth, maybe it's in our day and age, you can't just be like a guy that, like, all the ladies, you're dating a different one like every week or whatever. Chris Hemsworth very quickly, like immediately settled down and had like a family and whatever. It's like, do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying that all guys should have a good period of time that they're walking around and all the ladies are cool with them. But you kind of hope that if you're Chris Hemsworth, maybe, maybe you carve out a few years for that. Do
Sure,
you, do you, do you get what I'm trying to say, Professor?
sure.
Like, if I'm Chris Hemsworth and I'm in my whatever mid-20s, whatever he was, I'd want to be like in a situation where like I go all over the world and like every time there's like a red carpet with all the best ladies and they're all like, think I'm the best. And he like skipped over all of that. Like 5 minutes after somebody knew who he was, he immediately like settled down in 1 second. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's very kind of noble and respectable, Professor. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh yes.
Have a lot of important things here that we discuss on the Night Owl.
Yeah. You know what? If he's ready to settle down, not everybody wants to live that life where they're running around scoring with all the ladies and everything, Like whatever.
And
Like I like Chris Hemsworth a lot. I think he's a pretty down to earth,
he seems cool.
pretty cool guy. There's people that are out there, actors that you're like, I don't want anything to do with it. Like I don't want to be in the same room with a lot of the actors that are out there. Some of them I probably would be tempted to punch in the face. But somebody like like him, like Chris Hemsworth, like I could see just hanging out at the bar, like chatting all night long
He
about
seems cool.
whatever, right? Like he seems like he's that kind of guy.
I don't have any issue with him. I mean, I don't dislike Chris Hemsworth. I think he's cool. But yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. Anyhow, NMM says that like Russell Brand. No, not really. Russell Brand is, listen, I don't know anything about Russell Brand. I know that in recent years there are always like some stuff that they say about him and whatever, but I don't know. I don't really know one way or another. I have no really real opinion about him to here or to there.
He's an odd duck.
He's an odd guy. Yeah, he's certainly a weirdo in my opinion, but is he the worst weirdo? I don't know. I feel like I don't listen to his show. I don't watch him enough, so I can't really pass judgment one way or another. Back in the day, I think in that movie, what is it called? The movie that Jason Segel is in Hawaii and he likes Mila Kunis. Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty funny in that movie, from what I recall. Haven't watched that movie in a really long time. I thought he was kind of funny in that. There was some movie like Get Him to the Greek or something like that. He was mildly funny there, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I mean, again, I feel like back in the day I had more patience for some of these people, but over time, like they kind of, I don't have as much patience for their brand of humor or whatever it is. But from what I recall, and I haven't watched those movies in a very long time, that Sarah Marshall movie was, passable entertainment. Get Him to the Greek was passable, had some moments in it, I guess. Today, I don't even know if you can show Get Him to the Greek anymore because if you recall, there's an actor in that movie that currently, has his own issues, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
He was playing a record mogul or media mogul or something. Record label owner. Basically was kind of playing himself, supposedly. Only a nicer version of himself. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of times in movies, you have like a guy and he's playing like, and he wants you to think he's nice, but on the show, he's kind of acting like a douche. In that case, it was like the opposite. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The only time that I really like that I again, these people kind of annoy me now, but I mean, he annoyed me before, but there was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David, before he went, I guess, full TDS, or maybe he was already going TDS. I don't know. In any case, that episode was funny. That Lin Manuel Miranda, he made him such a pompous douche, but I feel like that's probably what he's like. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that the role works so well and made me laugh when I watched it is because I believed he was a douche. Like, he played the way I imagined he was. Now, you could say, "Oh, no, it's a tongue in cheek. He's actually really nice, but he's just playing a douche." But I think in his case, I think he was just playing himself. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna
playing
lie to you.
himself.
Like, there were some moments of funny there. Larry David was funny. Now recently, it's like I looked. I don't even know. I looked. I hadn't seen him in a while, and it's like I was reading like Larry David is doing like a comedy skit show with Obama. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
He would. Yeah.
Like, why? That's so stupid. All these people are so weird. But whatever. I mean, I guess at this point he has so much money. What does he care?
Oh yeah.
What else
Yeah.
do we have on our docket?
Oh well, yeah. We hadn't quite finished talking about the trailer.
Oh,
I guess. I mean, I guess
sorry.
we had finished up. Yeah. Just
No,
we
go
get
on,
this.
go on.
We
Give us your
do.
summary. Give us your summary.
Yeah, no, we do get to see the outfit, the uniform. It looks absolutely awful, absolutely awful. Nothing inspiring, interesting at all about this. It's like this brown leather 3D printed something. I don't know what it is. Doesn't even like light up. There's no character to it at all. We get the repeated like, "Are you afraid?" stuff. Yeah, of course we get the Guy Gardner showing up for some reason. Again, there's more of this, him being talked to by the boys who are proud. They're apparently injecting him with something.
They're injecting him, and they are twirling their German mustache as they do this.
I don't know what this is supposed to be. If it's orange, it could have something to do with orange lanterns, which was the lantern of the avarice, greed, kind of thing. I don't know. My guess is that the people who made this have no idea what the different colors mean.
They were trying because they like twirling their German mustache. They were. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to shut up now, Professor. Anything I say now is not going to be good. I'm going to shut up.
Yes, they are enthusiasts for Austrian painters.
And white ghost monsters and
yes.
I could tell you what I thought that they were doing to him, but I feel like it's best if I keep my mouth shut. We've given a lot of we've implied a lot of things, and on some platforms it's better to imply rather than to speak even more about it.
Well, we can imply. I think this show is going to implode. It looks terrible. Nobody is excited for this.
NPC person one says MAGA juice. That's, I guess, what they're giving.
Yes, that's why it's orange, right? Orange man, MAGA juice. Yep. They're gonna give him a spray tan.
I see a lot of oranges online these days, but I'm not touching that. Not touching that one. They keep appearing in my feed, but I'm not going there.
Yeah, I'm gonna give John a spray tan. Not the best looking trailer. Not too excited for that one. Don't know if I'm gonna. I might end up watching it just to tear it to pieces. But that would be it. It looks bad, real bad.
Jason Webster says, enjoyed the panel chat on the Buck Rogers and the 21st Century pilot. That was part 1. Part 2 is on Thursday, by the way.
Yes, Jason. It is.
Like Battlestar Galactica, it received a theatrical release in Australia. Interesting. I would have
Yeah.
gladly seen those movies in a
Yeah.
movie theater, but I didn't.
Yeah, they both got theatrical releases, and yeah, there's actually some significant differences actually between the theatrical releases and the version that was eventually aired on TV. And we talked about some of those. Yeah, we'll talk about some more of them on Thursday. I'm assuming I'll be able to be around on Thursday. Uh, but yeah, there's some other changes, especially to the ending of the Buck Rogers pilot that were definitely quite different from what they did in the theatrical. So
Regret not seeing the movie theater version, but
yeah, I can share I can share it with you.
oh, okay.
Somewhere to find. I can send you to the right place to find it.
Interesting, yeah. You mean that we can go to India and watch it together there? Because in India, it's always pleasant to watch movies and shows. That's the one thing that in India that they're really good at. They specialize at showing you a lot of movies and shows.
Yeah, yeah. You could even catch them on the plane on the way there.
Yeah. When I was in India, I was in some kind of rural village, and I think I took some bus from one. I don't know. I was going from one place to another, and on the bus, sometimes people just board them and bring their chickens with them. Do you know that? I'm not
Really?
kidding. I'm not
Oh
kidding.
my.
I was sitting on the bus, when I say bus, this at the time, maybe it's more modern today, but this is, we're talking at least 20 years ago. So the bus looked like something like if I was doing a period piece about like the 1930s or something, that's what the bus looks like. And the guy stops and people just board it and bring their chickens with them. Why are they bringing chickens? I don't know. I don't know why they have
Hmm.
chickens there, and nobody cares. Like, to me, this seems very weird, but nobody cares. They're not surprised that there's chickens. One guy brought, like, sacks of rice and, like, chickens and stuff, and I'm like, what's going on here?" You know? But I can't say anything because I'm the odd man out. Because to them, this is all normal. Also, if you ever wanna kind of, live dangerously, you should go to India and then just take like long bus rides as they like go to destinations that are far, like in the mountains and stuff. You'll have buses driving on like routes that are so thin and like at the edge of a mountain. It feels like
Oh,
any moment
oh,
the,
geez.
the bus can just slide off and fall. You feel like it's going to happen any second, and the drive is like could be several hours, but every second of that drive, you feel like okay, this is it. This is it. And meanwhile, there's, like, chickens flying around and weird things like that. It was a real test for me to be in that situation. But I feel like it was an experience that I grew from 'cause I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the chickens and the bus.
Mhm.
They still
Not
have them
something I've
buses.
experienced.
Gavin Unit 1 says, "They still have them buses, they just have more Gaffer tape now." Yeah, probably. Can be pets, buddy. I don't think that they're the pets for those guys, but it is what it is.
I think it was they were packing their lunch.
Yeah, so, I will still say that India is one of the best places I've ever been. It's a strange situation that there's a lot of bizarre stuff that goes on there, but there are places that are very remote that you're kind of like with nature or whatever you want to call it, and there is something special about it. I don't know if it's special anymore because probably today it's not like it was, but I feel like maybe I got a like last minute glimpse of what it looks like when it's still cool. Now I think it's probably not cool anymore, but it was cool. And, I've said this before, if you go to McDonald's in India, they don't have a Big Mac. Do you know that? I feel like Pulp Fiction. They don't have a Big Mac. Did you know that,
Well,
Professor?
and in India, they're definitely they're not going to be serving beef.
Right. So they have something else that they call the Maharaja Mac. That's what they call it. Like you walk into
Yeah,
McDonald's, instead of Big Mac on the menu, it says Maharaja Mac. I don't know if
Royale
still
with cheese.
it's a Royale with cheese situation. So they have a Big Mac, but they call it the Maharaja Mac, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 patties of chicken instead of, like, the beef, because they don't have the beef. So you can buy a chicken,
Okay.
sandwich, but it
Well,
all kinda seems weird. What's the point of even having a McDonald's if you can't serve your signature stuff? Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, given the opinion of them serving beef over there, not particularly fond of serving uh, uh, beef among that in that culture and the
I mean,
prevailing religion there. So
in Thailand, also, if you go into McDonald's again, haven't been there in years, maybe it's different now. Back in the day, if you walked into like in Thailand into a McDonald's, everybody's eating fried chicken. It's kind of like a Kentucky fried chicken type of chicken, and they have that on the menu. That's like was at least their biggest item. People are like coming in to buy that. That's what interests them. Very few people order like other stuff. They're very big with the fried chicken. They do like a KFC type of thing. Very weird.
hmm. KFC is huge over there. Actually, you
I
know,
believe it,
it's 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 insanely, but it's been decreasing in popularity here in the US for a decade. Like it's been just really slowly just tailing off. Not necessarily like every store just like losing crazy money. It's just not all that popular. It's almost like people just kind of forgot about KFC. Like there's just other things that they want to do,
the
or other things that they're interested in.
once there's Chick-fil-A, I think KFC already, like, doesn't hold up, and the other thing is that, I I I never understood this idea that people are, like, eating chicken from a bucket, you know what I mean? It's fine if you're into that sort of thing, but I personally, doesn't tickle my fancy personally.
hmm
Like, why would I want a bucket full of chicken? That's all I
A
know.
bucket of chicken. Yeah, that was actually so the bucket, this is kind of funny. I actually did some research on KFC a long time ago for business school. The bucket was actually introduced by the first franchisee. So the colonel, he didn't really want to, he wasn't opening new restaurants, wasn't doing anything. One guy finally convinced him to let him open a franchise, a second location, and that guy was the one that introduced the bucket.
Never liked that bucket. Eminem says, "Price went to Lady Man Country, OMG." You know, yes, first of all, I tend to agree with you, but that's why I was kind of wary of any woman that talked to me in that location, especially in, like, in Bangkok. Really can't, like, first of all, there is a bit of irony that place is called Bangkok. I mean, it's an obvious joke. I know it's, like, immature and stupid, but strange name for a place to begin with. In addition to that, maybe it's like a foreshadowing of what happens when you try to do things there. It's a late hour. What am I talking about, Professor? In any case, what I wanted to say is that I was very wary of women talking to me because you don't know what's going on there. It's very strange, you know? I could say
Oh,
stuff, but
sure.
it's probably very not PC, but I'm gonna try to dance around this in the best way that I can. Uh, I feel like, and a lot of times in the US, when you see, a woman sorry, a man who's now a woman, you could often tell that that was the case, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Whereas there, and I don't know why, there are at least some, you know I don't know the semantics here, and I don't want to any trouble with anybody. I'm just saying that something about some people there, they can at least partially mask it in a easier way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sure. They can pass.
They're better at masking that whole
Yeah.
situation, not fully, but better at masking
Yeah.
it. So then, you kind of are on high alert all the time because you don't really know. There's a lot of things going on in that Bangkok place that are all weird to begin with. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna say this. This is what I think. Uh, Local ladies in Thailand wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not my thing. It's fine if that's what you like, Professor. Not my thing.
No, not into that myself. No.
How did we get here? Oh, because Eminem was talking about all that stuff. Elizabeth Quince has awesome childhood memories of that bucket. That's good.
I don't mind KFC, although if I'm given a choice, I'm picking Popeyes every time.
Piku
Personally.
says, "One night in Bangkok and the tough guys tumble." There was a song like that. One night in Bangkok and the tough guys tumble. No, 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 no. I don't even know the lyrics, but I know they're like Bangkok, Oriental City. There's somebody
Yeah.
that says something like
I
that.
think we ended up talking about this one night
No, we were
before.
talking about Wang Chung.
Was-
The guys that sing One Night in Bangkok, I don't remember who they are. I don't think it's
No, I think we decided it was from the musical Chess or something like.
Who sings? Who sings? Maybe we've been through this before. Who sings One Night in Bangkok? Is it Chess? I don't even fucking know. Sorry, Sean. Based on the
Murray Head. Yeah, it was created for the musical Chess. Yeah. It's part of a concept album that was Murray Head.
Makes a hard man humble. That's what they say. Murray Head. This is all very strange. But One Night in Bangkok. I do remember that. I mean, as dumb as that song is, at least it has a few things that I remember about it. But man, I find it to be a rather underwhelming song myself.
I think I've maybe heard it once.
I'm gonna have to say that I like Wang Chung better than
Yeah.
Bangkok Oriental City. Maybe because I met the members of Wang Chung and I told you that Jack guy was really nice, really really nice guy. Talked to him for a while, had a really lengthy conversation with him. Seemed like a really nice guy. So I don't know. It helps. Like you get bonus points if you're nice. If you know what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian. There's a sequel or something. Did you hear anything about that?
No, I hadn't heard anything about that today.
I don't know much about this, and I'm going to also tell you, I probably only saw one of those. I don't know if there were two, but I saw one movie with Schwarzenegger. I feel like I saw a movie. Don't laugh at me, but I feel like I saw a movie where he was Conan and Grace Jones was in it.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
That's which one is that? That's Conan the Destroyer. Yeah.
That's the one that I think I saw. I could have seen the other one too, actually. But all I'll say is that these were movies that I saw. I was really, really young, and
Yeah, I
remem-
haven't seen either. I haven't seen any of the Conan. Definitely have not watched any of the newer ones. Right.
No, new. I can't even tell you. I've watched ones with Schwarzenegger for sure. One that had Schwarzenegger and Grace Jones for sure. I watched that movie, and maybe I saw another one with Schwarzenegger. But That's all I saw. Anything else that later they tried other Conans and stuff,
Yeah, there was
not even 1 minute I didn't watch of it.
yeah, the two from the 80s, Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. I've seen both of those. It's been a very long time since I saw that. I also saw Red Sonja, which came out. It wasn't technically a Conan movie, but it was in the same vein, right? But no, I haven't seen any of the like. Wasn't there a Jason Momoa Conan the Barbarian?
I didn't watch even 1 minute of
Yeah,
that. It was too
I
much for me,
didn't see
Professor.
it. I didn't bother. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Schwarzenegger in his prime, I think, looked like Conan. I don't exactly know what he's gonna do. I
Conan
guess
the
it's
sequel. Yeah, it says
old man Conan. I don't know.
to write and direct King Conan. So, yeah, it's my guess is yeah, he's going to play a bit part in it. Someone else is going to have the main role, right? Like he's too old to be running around in a loincloth swinging
Yeah,
axes at people. I mean, it's
yeah, I don't see that happening.
he's gonna have to be like, yeah, he's gonna have to be the king of the kingdom and something like that, and he sends other warriors out to do something for him or whatever. There's no way. Yeah,
I really wish that well, actually Christopher McQuarrie, I don't know. Sorry, I may be wrong, but Joseph Kosinski, I was confusing with him. I really am depressed that they didn't give him Top Gun 3 and that they gave that movie, they're going to give it to some like no name to do it. Because I think that Joseph Kosinski did a good job with Maverick. And if they were going to make another movie, they really needed to lock that guy down for another chapter. Giving it now to some clown to do it is really annoying.
mm-hmm.
That's just my personal opinion, of course.
No, I agree.
Olivia Dabo was only 14. In what movie? What movie was Olivia Dabo in 14? I have no idea. I kind of forgot who Olivia Dabo is, actually. I know the name. I must know who that is, but I don't have an image in my mind, Professor.
Olivia
Dabo.
Dabo. Yeah. Oh, Conan the Destroyer, 84. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. Did not know anything about that. Bridget Nielsen looked good in Red Sonja. Yeah, she had a little bit of time there where she was kind of riding high, and you know, she ended up with Stallone, but that didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Not his most successful marriage.
Few of them are.
Oh wait, we have a few super chats. Hold on one second.
Yeah, looks like there's a couple in there.
Okay, I'm gonna highlight them right now. Let's see. Okay. Sharing this right now. We have from the Real Headcase 199. Thank you for the super chat. Name one better than Sydney Sweeney right now. I mean, I guess out of the actresses that Hollywood, is showing us every 2 seconds, she's likable. She seems like a pretty likable person and she looks nice. And she doesn't look like she's had 70 operations, but she just looks, kind of naturally nice and
Mhm.
seems to have a good vibe. So in that sense, I like her. But there should be like 10 more of her. It's like she's not the norm in Hollywood. They're trying to make it so that ladies like her are not popular, 'cause it doesn't go with whatever they're trying to do. Jason Webster with $2 says K horror film hopes significantly popular at Cannes. I guess that's the movie that Park Chan Hook or whatever you were talking about.
Hmm.
I just said Park Chan Hook. I feel like any time somebody's gonna say, "Hey, like, there's a Korea person," and I'm just gonna say like Park Chan Hook, and in some of those cases, that name is gonna be accurate. I know I'm getting into trouble here. This is trouble for me. Now, I'm saying this not because I'm insensitive or mean spirited. I'm saying as somebody who doesn't know. That's what I'm saying. So
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Park Chan Hook. That's what I'm going with here. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe looks pretty good. Early reviews are pretty positive, even saying Jared Leto is entertaining Skeletor miraculously. Uh, I personally I grew up watching the animated series of He-Man. I don't have much
Yeah, as did
faith
I.
for this movie. I feel like this movie is going the route of all these other kind of meta modern day poke fun and make it stupid, and he's going to be sensitive and women are going to bark orders at him. I tend to think that he's not going to be what we'd like. And at the end of the day, I guess that cartoon was the height of He-Man. I don't know if they can come up with something better.
Yeah, their first attempt at a film didn't go. A live action film didn't go too well.
No, but you know what? I think again, much like I was saying about Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, that Dolph Lundgren movie is going to look pretty darn good after
Might
this.
look good. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
So
I am definitely not excited about the Masters of the Universe movie. I don't think it's going to hit well. I don't think it's gonna make a lot in the theaters. But you know what? Maybe it's a fine movie. It just doesn't get the word of mouth. Doesn't get the traffic that it deserves. That happens all the time too, right? There's movies that really do deserve to have people in the theaters seeing them and just don't just don't perform all that well. But we'll just have to wait and see. Some of the early reviews out are so far saying it's all right. You never know with early reviews though, right? So yeah,
right
we'll have to wait and see on that one.
now it says Facutino 9357 price the Hot Toys Rada and Hot has gotten revealed. Oh, Rada the Hut. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm so not excited for all these kind of Java derivatives. Oh well.
I
What?
was just looking at the Hot Toys run of that. I can
Uh,
share if you
wait a second. I have one super chat that I just want to show,
Yep.
and then it didn't work the way I wanted. Let's share this one instead. No, that didn't work either. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, you show whatever you wanted, Professor. I'll try to
Oh. Oh,
sort
okay.
this out.
Well, I closed the window.
In any case, 20.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. You
No,
show
no,
your thing.
I was saying you got your thing up. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, let's do it quickly. K-horror film hope significantly popular at Cannes. I think you said that, and I read it. Jason Webster, thank you. We have the real head case with $2. 24-hour taco shop coming through with a win. Is that for the vanilla channel?
Mm.
Remember, Phantom Monk, find the most vanilla channel we can for a raid. Professor,
Vanilla.
what did you want to share?
Oh no, he mentioned the Rod of the Hut thing, so I was gonna say, here we go. There's the Rod of the Hut Hot Toys. I have no idea what the pricing on this will be.
It just all looks lame. They can't think of anything new. They're just like pillaging all the stuff that existed, and they're doing cheaper carbon copies. That's all they're doing.
Something tells me that this actual toy here might actually look better than the character in the actual film, which is just a big CGI slug monster.
I tend to believe you, Professor.
I don't get it. I don't think this is going to sell any toys at all. Not this, not anything from this movie. This movie is going to be a fart in the wind. They're going to, this is going to be big for one weekend, and then it's just going to disappear because anyone who isn't going to see it opening weekend is just going to wait to see it on Disney Plus, a few weeks later. That's it.
Yeah.
And the word of mouth is going to get around that it sucks. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to there's going to be some parents who are taking their kids to see it, especially the real young ones, grandparents taking their kids to see it, their grandkids to see it, but it's not going to, I just feel like this is going
I
to
mean,
disappear
it's like
from
I
theaters
said,
so fast.
Mufasa wasn't a good movie, but you still saw parents taking their kids to it. Some people may go to it. I think your 475 estimate is not a bad one.
Yep. I think that's really going to depend on the international market. If it does pretty well internationally, it matches what, how it performs here in the US, then I think 475 would be pretty good. But yeah, it's just going to depend on how long they keep it in theaters, if it gets any kind of play on the second weekend. I'm guessing it probably would, probably will get some decent play outside of the US beyond the first weekend, but I don't know, man. Yeah, definitely have to wait and see. But yeah, I think I'm probably sticking with that number around 475. I think for all the
Fair enough. I think that's a good number.
for its full time in the theaters. As far as other movies this summer, we'll have to talk about some more of those later. But we've got Supergirl coming, and I don't even think it's going to do 475.
No, I think that Supergirl is like in the toughest spot because it doesn't even have some cute little thing to sell. Maybe they tried with Crypto the dog, but that's not going to do it.
Yep, I bet it's going to be closer to 400, 425 at most.
I think you're right.
Yep, it's going to do well below what Superman did last year. I think that I just don't think that they have any momentum whatsoever with their cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we were just talking about He-Man. As enjoyable as it might be, I just don't see a lot of audience for it. I'm guessing probably more like 400 for that, maybe less. I don't think it's going to perform all that well, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of stuff coming out. What are all the things that are coming out this summer? Full calendar here. Stuff coming out this summer. Of course, we had we've already moved up on Mortal Kombat 2. I don't really care about that one. I'm not sure that's going to do all that well in the end. I'm kind of surprised that Sheep Detectives has been performing as poorly as it has so far. I think it ought to do a little bit better than that, but
The Sheep
maybe
Detective?
Yeah.
They didn't do a ton of marketing for
No.
it.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten a lot of marketing. I think you're right.
I think that Amazon, co-funded or funded or whatever it is, thinking it's going to be on their streaming service and that it'll find an audience there. I don't think they rolled out as big of a release as they could have. And when I saw the movie, I thought to myself, this is a very kind of wholesome, and I told you that. I said it was a very decent and wholesome kind of like family movie with a pretty decent message, and I thought it was fun. And when I saw it, I thought to myself, why doesn't anybody know about this? Like, I feel like nobody even is talking about this movie. They'll talk about all this like Grogu and shit like all day, even if it's just to say that it sucks. But somehow, Sheep Detectives, which is decent, they don't want to talk about it, I guess.
Yeah. I was just looking and seeing, thinking about some of the other releases that are happening. So obviously this week we've got Mandalorian and Grogu coming up after that. Backrooms. I've heard a lot of lot of buzz for that one. I don't know. I don't think sort of psychological horror on that one. I have never heard of The Breadwinner. Oh no,
Tuner.
that's the one. That's the one starring the comedian Nate Bargatze. Yeah,
Yeah, there's Tuner, which I told you I saw and I thought was pretty good.
sure. Yeah.
Again,
Um,
Tuner, in my opinion, was
I
like,
saw.
smaller budget, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw another review for that. I saw somebody talking about it on X. They were also uh, very up on this film. Thought it was really good. So we're waiting for June
You know
5th.
what I liked about it?
Yep.
And I'll give you a first of all, like I said, Tuner, this obsession movie I saw. I like these kind of movies that are not, high budget. I will say that the Sheep Detectives probably did have a budget, but even that created like a sense of wonder and escapism and positive messaging. I liked everything that was going on there, and I thought it was well done. It's funny, we're all talking about this stupid animal farm and how much it sucks. Meanwhile, you had like a movie with animals, which was much more wholesome and positive, but nobody's talking about it. And it's annoying because it's a really decent movie. Again,
Yep.
I said it first, and later you have like these kind of Johnny come lately people that are saying it now as well. It's fine, Sometimes being late to the party is better than never arriving at the party at all, I
Yeah.
suppose. But I'm not. I'm not.
And smaller movies like that sometimes take a little while. It takes some word of mouth.
Right, right.
Marketing to really catch on.
I
And I
immediately
mean,
said, you could go and look at our videos. We're probably
yeah.
one of the earliest, people that reviewed it. But I am both mature and not bitter, Professor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So then, yeah, wait until June 5th for Masters of the Universe. There's a couple others. There's the new Scary Movie. I guess technically it's what, the 6th Scary Movie?
I think I
Um,
saw the first one and that was it. I really haven't sat around and watched those scary movies all day. I'm not really itching for another one. It's not been my thing ever really. But any commercial I see for scary movie, the new one, it seems like it's trying very hard. I wonder what the
yeah.
movie itself is going to be like. But sometimes you got this feeling that rather than organic jokes, it's a little bit trying hard, and I don't really know if that's a good way to explain it. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's not my bag. It's not my cup of tea that I'm not really interested in another scary movie. I think like you, I think I saw the first one. And then I might have seen a bit of one of the other ones at some point, but not my thing. But people seem to enjoy it, and there seems to be some buzz around this one. So they've been doing some fun marketing for it. The actors have been showing up at like dance clubs and stuff like that. I don't know. It's weird, but anyway, it looks like it might be fun. It'll have its audience, I'm sure. We got Disclosure Day, which is the latest Spielberg. They're
When
starting
does that
to.
come out?
That one is due June 12th, so we got a little bit before that one's going to be here. But uh, that one, I've started to see some marketing for it. I've started to see a bit here and there. It just does nothing for me. There's nothing about this that I find interesting. I don't know why, in particular, this isn't doing it for me, other than just my own opinions on UFOs and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
What do
he's a
you think,
solid
Brian?
filmmaker, and this is more in his wheelhouse. But I don't know. I feel like nothing I say is going to sound good here. But I think when you're in your 80s, you're maybe not making your best movies.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
I
sound
mean,
like Tarantino
honestly,
now, but yeah.
I know we have our friend, Mega Geek, Ian is a huge fan of Spielberg, loves his work. His work really inspired him to get into film and everything. Yeah, I appreciate that. His that Spielberg does have a lot of talent and a lot of history with making some incredible films, but just in recent years, it's just been, you know. Uh, we have to blame him for Rachel Zegler, right? I mean,
That is
it's
true.
just
Yeah,
he
technically, he's the
hasn't.
man.
I just don't think he's really been putting out great work recently. This could be the one that turns it around. This could be a great film.
I
The
don't have a great feeling.
the subject matter isn't doing anything for me. I don't think it's going to make a huge splash, but
Yeah, I don't think so either.
yeah.
The Furious, I don't think that has anything to do with the Fast and the Furious, which, by the way, they were supposed to make, like, another chapter, and then they didn't make that chapter, and they left the whole thing, like, on a cliffhanger. Not that it even matters, because the whole
Not
thing was
that it
going down
matters.
the drain anyways, but I wonder if they're ever gonna finish that thing.
Who knows? I've never seen one of those films.
Fast and Furious?
I haven't seen a single Fast and Furious film.
I've told you before, I think that if, like, you had to watch one, the original one was a little more low-key, just telling the story of a gang and, like, a police, undercover police officer. It's just that once that first one ends, it, like, becomes absurd and preposterous and never lets go.
Okay. Yep. So Furious, it's an international film. Looks like probably Chinese, maybe a Hong Kong film. Death of Robin Hood. I don't think anyone's going to care about that. This one's going to do huge though. This one's going to do big business.
Toy
It's
Story
about
5.
two gay lovers, two young boys, teenage boys who are gay lovers. So that's definitely going to do big.
That's
at
what Toy
least
Story 5 is
among the
about?
critics. No, I was talking about Leviticus.
Okay.
Yeah, Toy Story 5 is about two gay teenagers.
It probably is. That's probably what it's about this time around. That's why I wasn't even kidding. I'm like, oh, that's the plot this time.
This time, Toy Story 5 is about the evils of screen time. That's what Toy Story 5 is about.
They really should have quit while they were ahead with that
They
one.
really should have. The first three films are a masterpiece, but both individually and then taken as a trilogy of films. They're fantastic. They're absolutely amazing, just as a storytelling achievement, but a technical achievement. Wonderful films, and it's rare that you get three films in a row. The second one I didn't love as much, definitely the weaker of the three, but the third film is incredible. It's so well made. You can see how the technology evolved over time. You can feel how all the actors have become more and more comfortable with the characters that they're playing and with the relationships between the characters. And then there's just this incredible story that ends with this just deeply emotional ending to the film. It's those three movies, they should never have made any more. You take those first three Toy Story movies, they're an absolutely incredible story, incredible arc for the characters. You get to see the technology evolve over time. They're perfect. They're great films. The fourth one was a just cynical cash grab, and this one's going to be the same. I just don't care. Yeah. Matthew Marcelo. Yeah, Toy Story 3 was the perfect ending to the saga, but no, they had to ruin it. Yep. Let's see. There's a few more during the summer. We got The Invite. It's an Olivia Wilde picture. I don't know. Another Jackass movie. It's Supergirl. I would almost put money on Jackass doing better than Supergirl, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. But Supergirl is going to be. It's going to have a fine opening weekend, I'm sure. But after that, I think it's going to tail off real fast. Especially given that that's coming out when June 26th. Following weekend, we get Minions and Monsters. I think all of the Minions films have done incredibly well. And I don't think this one's going to be any different. I think it's going to have tons of families with kids in the theaters to see it. Honestly, it looks kind of funny. We were watching the trailer for this. My kids happened to see that the trailer popped up on YouTube or something the other day. They said, "Oh, whoa, there's a new Minions movie." So we watched the trailer and we all had a good laugh. So it might be something we would go to see. I know it'll be really immature, silly, typical Minions humor stuff, but if you have a good time, it's fine. Doesn't have to be high art.
Speaking of good time, I think I had a really good time on the Night Owl today, and it's a good time to start shouting out people if
All
you
right. Well,
care to start.
we can do that. We can do that. Here's let me. Oh. No,
Are
no.
you there?
Yep. Nope. It's just being a pain.
Oh, I see.
Hold on.
I'm counting on you, Professor.
Yeah. Everything's going a little funny there. All right.
So, Professor, oh, you sent me, okay. Rumble, Key Burton 1, Phantom Monk. Phantom Monk, I hope you found a place to raid. I really want to, do you have a DJ? Let me look for a second. Let me first of all say the names. Key Burton, Phantom Monk, who's a moderator on Rumble, Gaming Stuff, Born to Be Down, Rogue 12, Elizabeth Quince, God Bless 5697, Joe Higachi, Rowdy Dowdy, Twitch, Jacko Boom, Exorbitant Down, sorry,
E- X
X
Born to
Born
Be
to Be
Down.
Down,
I
sorry.
think it's Born to Be Down from Rumble hopped
Uh,
over onto
yeah,
Twitch.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Late hour. Born to Be Down, Tim Fan 34.
Yep.
Wait a second. I'm going to find something. Professor, you talk for a second. I'm going to
Yeah,
find the.
no, I'll go ahead and I'll get our names here off of YouTube. So, yeah, a bunch of people joining us tonight. Pete Roble, Fishbulb, Nemo Memes, Facutino, Marla Sherendorf, Adrian Veit, Poker Ace, Piku, Samsung, NPC Person 1, Justin Channels, Darth Scipio, The Padawannabe, Zune RJ5, Andy Masterson, Ms. Sparkles, Tim Hayes, the lovely Sherry Lasher, E. Clay Thomason, Sagacious Six, Angry Sparrow, Robot Head, Black Cat Red Ed, Hoot Owl, Murrockstro, Jason Love, Doctor Who, Big Sur River, Rogue's Backstory, Putin, Jonathan Conroy, Adam Gray, Tomahawk 511, Matthew Marcillo, Kodo Rob, Gavin Unit, Caleb Levine, Kuna Ritchie, iLord Corey, The Real Head Case, and Jason Webster. And of course, yes, we did get some support this evening from Born to Be Down, who gave us a Rumble rant. And we also had some super chats from The Real Head Case and Jason Webster this evening. So thank you again for your support.
Matthew Marcillo says, shout out Professor R2 Price in chat. Woo!
Woo!
See you all Friday. It's our Thursday, but yes, Friday is good. Another good stream, Night All. Thanks. Phantom Monk, can you tell me if it was successful that we could raid that thing? I don't know how to raid, so Phantom Monk is the expert.
Lo-fi girl. Yes, looks like it's working.
It's I don't want to say that the lo-fi girl is vanilla. Oh yeah, it says Price of Reason has rated the stream. Phantom Monk, you did it. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Phantom Monk. Phantom Monk does great work here on Rumble as a moderator. Just wanted to thank him for everything he does. Thank you, man. And
all right.
Yeah, I guess Price is such an awesome guy. Oh, I try my best. When will Robot Heads Friday be back? Soon. Thanks, Phantom Monk. Thank you. Gaming stuff, thank you. In any case, Professor. Oh wait. Professor R2 on B-sides. I need to
Well,
share a
yeah.
link or whatever.
Oh, Adam's got it covered.
Okay.
Yep. I think that's it for tonight, man.
All right, man. So I think we're going to head out. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. This was the Night Owl. We talked about a lot of important stuff today, and we'll be back here on Thursday for the Night Owl at 11:45 p.m. Eastern. We are here Tuesday and Thursday every week at 11:45 p.m. Eastern, and this time we will be talking about The Mandalorian and Grogu after we've already seen it on Thursday. So it's
Yep.
definitely going to be interesting.
That's the plan. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll be talking as long as we both can get to see it. We'll be talking about Mandalorian and Grogu and whatever else is coming up that day. All right. Take care, everybody.
Play the song. Okay. Bye.
Bye.